Ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. Do-do-do-do-do. 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 Huh. Oh, hey, Zevon, how you doing? Hopefully the answer is well. Oh. Come on, brain, you can do it. Painting your nails after you sitting down for a minute? Oh, there you go. Man. Hey, Kyra. Hey, Kat. Ah. Oh, god damn it. Delete. Deleted. Gotta delete some things. Hey, Blonde. Hey, Mousedon. How you doing? Ah. So, bought a bag of Cadbury mini eggs. Highlight of the week. Ooh, those are good. Them Cadbury mini eggs are pretty good. Oh, man. It's time. Hopefully some UK Vault Gary was up. Hoping y'all are doing well. Hopefully hopefully everything is good where you are. Because it's been, well, it's not been like entirely bad, but like, some shit's gone down, that kind of thing. Currently watching the Aqua Teen episode of Master Shake sells meat wad to the circus. Behold the hot dog. Behold the igloo. He's called Meat Mountain now. We did see Hellbenders. We're going to be doing that vlog's going to be coming up. We also finally saw Scream. That vlog is also going to be coming up. Kind of cigarette? Marlboros. Marlboro Silvers. Back in the day, used to call them ultralights. Are you watching the State of the Union? I can't, man. I can't. Like, I know shit's gonna be going down, but like, fuck. I gotta do something else with my time. Finally saw the 80s Little Shop of Horrors. It's a good movie. Yeah. See, here's the thing about CGI. A lot of people used to use it as like a shortcut. This will be cheaper and easier, and we'll be able to change it faster. And it's like, well, yeah, but there was like a 30-year growing period for that. Like, some of the stuff they're doing with CGI now is real good. This is real good. You wouldn't even fucking know, because they're blending it with practical effects in a way that you ain't ready for. Like, my favorite example of a somewhat more modern effect, I mean, it's a little old now, but the Demogorgon from Stranger Things. The only thing about the Demogorgon that was CGI were the things that came out of the center of its head, like the tentacles. The inside of the fucking flower, that all actually worked. You know how like the thing twitched and the little cilia moved? That was all practical. But like when something would come out of the center, Like that was CGI. That's where the CGI was. And we know this because we actually saw that. We actually saw that. We saw that thing. We saw the thing that they actually filmed. The actual like prosthetic that the guy was in. You know, like they had a couple of rigs. Um, the big one, there was a full body one, but then there was also one that was just the chest up. You know, for like doing close ups and stuff like that. Yeah, David Fincher often uses CGI very effectively these days. Yeah, 80% Endgame is yeah being CGI is talking about the backgrounds. Yeah, well, there's been a push back towards practical effects because there are just some things you can do with it that look way better. Um, One of the known problems with CGI is that it's too controlled. This is fine when you deal with like backgrounds and uh buildings. Excuse me. Buildings, backgrounds, vehicles, that kind of thing. Those all look you can make those look great in CGI. Things that are supposed to be alive, they've gone back to doing largely practically with CGI enhancement. You know, it's a lot more. It's a lot more about right now. It's a lot more about compositing. Hello, spooky flower. I see you out there. Um, Watching Lost Highway with Spanish subtitles. Oh, geez, yeah, I imagine that would be kind of hard. You know, that is not a movie that makes a lot of literal sense to begin with. Hey, Allison. Yeah, CGI is good if you know how to make it work. You know, and people have gotten really good at it. They've gotten real good at it. I mean, like think about like you know what they're doing on those Star Wars shows. Like that's where the envelope's being pushed right now. Is those Star Wars shows. Oh, would I fix the Star Wars sequel trilogy? Sure. Okay. All right. First of all, um, Ray would have been a clone. She would have been an experiment to make sure that a clone could channel the Force because that's not something that they're known to do. So that's an attempt to basically. So Palpatine's like, all right, well, I'm gonna need a body, and so I'm gonna want it to be able to like channel the Force and all that shit. So I'm gonna try to make that. And Rey is one of those, but she's like also a mistake. Like there are thousands of attempts, and she's like one of them. You know, so she's like one of them, and she somehow like managed to uh not managed to escape, but she was like dumped on a planet somewhere. She was dumped on a planet because it was like, yeah, whatever, fucking who cares. Um, Managed to live. Is found by a couple of locals and raised because they're just like, there's a baby here. Okay. Um, like maybe I might have even like, hmm, I might have even like set the first movie on the planet that Endor orbits because Endor's a moon. Um, So we have another potential planet down there. Um, like that, because the planet where the fucking Death Star actually like fucking crash landed. Like she'd actually like come from that, and the idea would have been like she was an experiment aboard the Death Star. Um, and you can make that planet whatever. Like it could be a desert planet that Death Star like fucking just lands on. That's the first thing I would have done. The second thing I would have done is I would have made Kylo Ren like almost irredeemable. It's like no, he's a bad guy. Like he is a villain. He's following the dark path. Um, and we watch him just sink further and further, move further and further along the path of the dark side. As opposed to what we did with Darth Vader in the prequels, where it's just sort of like it just sort of happens. Like we actually just sort of show that shit. Let's see what else. Finn would have ended up being a Force user, like this flat out. Like by the end of the second movie, he's got Force powers. Because most of that third movie's got to get scrapped. It's the weakest of the three. It doesn't hold together very well. It's not like a lot of people didn't like Return of the Jedi, but like Return of the Jedi still holds together. Like it doesn't break anything major in the Star Wars canon. Like it didn't break too much that was in Empire or the original. Whereas fucking Rise of Skywalker is just like that this shit just breaks all over the place. Yeah, I would have made Kylo Ren just full on evil. I also would have changed the vision that Luke had of Kylo Ren, where he doesn't see Kylo Ren, yeah, he destroys the Jedi, blah, 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 whatever. Who cares? That's not the big thing. Big thing is that what Kylo Ren does results in the death of Leia. And that's what fucking Luke freaks out about. That's why he freaks out about it. That's why he has the moment. That's why he has the moment of hesitate. That's why he has the moment where he thinks that maybe I need to do something about this. Make that the thing. It's just like, oh shit. She's gonna get killed by her son, and he knows it. Like that's. That's what I would have done. What Kylo Ren does is going to result in the death of Leia. Like, very, very directly. I would have kept, I would have kept Kylo Ren as evil. I would have just had him just go full on dark side. To the point where I'm like, no, I don't even know if he should die in those three movies. It might have been more effective to have him live. Yeah, those are the major things. Like, Snoke was just an asshole, so I didn't mind just seeing him die. I'm like, oh yeah, this is what we need. No Emperor figure. I didn't give a shit about Snoke. I didn't care about the Knights of Ren. Who gives a shit? I know a lot of people did, but I did not. I'm like, that's not what these movies are about, man. These movies are about like humanity. I also would have another thing I would have done. I don't know in what capacity I would have this happen. It would depend on some other shit that I haven't like quite figured out yet. But Finn and Rey would have been partners at the end of the last movie. Like Rey's not wandering the Earth alone. Like she is a Jedi, she is a Palpatine, she is a clone of Palpatine, and she is going to wander the Earth like Kane and Kung Fu. But like Finn's going to be there too, and whether or not it's a romance or a friendship, that's like that I haven't figured out yet. Because there are pros and cons to each. I'd definitely keep the Yoda scene. Yeah. You know, I would have also have had Ray probably start having visions of things that she didn't quite understand, but in retrospect related to Palpatine because she's got like some of his memories. Because the idea was that he was gonna, possess that body and then do shit with it. Yeah, there was a lot of focus of lore over story, but I found myself going like, if you can't do both, like lore has to service the tale. If you can't do both properly, you've kind of failed. Sometimes shit needs to change in the lore in order to make the story good. Because lore, by a lot of its nature, hasn't been shown. So you can just make that shit up. I mean, yeah, would Finn be her apprentice? Yeah, possibly. But what I definitely would have done is I would have uh established a new form of Jedi Order. Like they might not even be called the Jedi anymore. Luke really would be the last Jedi. And Rey would be the first of the next thing that happens. The irony is that the Mandalorian is doing a way better job of telling that story. That's how I feel about Mandalorian. I think Mandalorian right now is the best Star Wars. Um, it's that perfect blend of lore and story. It shows you things that they haven't shown you before, and yet it all dovetails into everything we've already seen quite gracefully. They even managed to like work in a lot of the lore from like I think it was like Clone Wars and Rebels. Which I thought was pretty cool. Oh, instead of calling them the Jedi's, calling them the Skywalkers. Hmm. Oh, I would totally. Yeah, I would have done that. See, I mean, John Favreau was a little busy at the time, but like, if I had had my druthers, I would have been doing that from the beginning. You know. And the other thing that I would have done is I would have left the third trilogy a little open ended. Like we conclude the main story, but there's a little like, well, what happens next? I mean, like that's kind of why I want Kylo Ren to still be around. It's like he's still a bad guy. He's not killed. so that we can do like a series based around Rey. Like based around shit she's doing and the establishment of the New Order. Hell, they could have even just called it the New Jedi Order, and that would have been okay. But like actually get into um yeah, the Order of Skywalkers, like that actually that'd be kind of a cool idea. Have the new Jedi, instead of being like a monolithic organizations, like have them separated into chapters and orders. Like kind of like the Space Marines from 40K. That way that gives us the potential to move like 1,000 years in the future and see what's happening at that point. Or maybe a few hundred. Like whatever, like some future time. And you could have like different orders that have different things that they do. Thoughts on Star Wars hotel that just opened at Disney World? I'm not a big theme park guy. That's it's not really my jam. Oh, you have quesadillas. Oh, quesadillas are good. We like them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. See the Book of Boba Fett that was straight out Lone Wolf and Cub. Yeah, I like that. I mean, I guess it looks cool. Hold on, let me even see. Like Star Wars Hotel. Have they opened this shit yet? It looks like it's still like looks like it's still in like concept phase. Um,
The Star Wars Galactic Star.
this Galactic Star. Right. Oh, it looks pretty cool. I mean, like I'm a little more into hives of scum and villainy myself, so yeah. I mean, it looks okay. I mean, I probably. Oh, then again, I'd be in Disney World, so I don't know how much fun I would have. Yeah, it looks like a cosplayer's dream, though. Oh yeah, I'm totally looking forward to the new Doctor Strange Flashman. Yeah, totally looking forward to that. That's the way it should be. Yeah, I'm like I don't know, like it's hard for me to tell. Like this is okay. This is a thing that, but is it worth 6K? I don't know. It might be. Um, but like here's one of my big issues. One of my big deals. Um, which when you get right down to it, when you get right down to it, God. Like, I'm kind of a depressive guy, and so it's really hard for me to, like, be happy about stuff. You know, like, and it is a problem that kind of, like, gets a little bit worse as you age, like, because you run out of energy, right? You know, you just get tired. Um, and I sometimes can't tell if I'm gonna have a good time with something. You know, that's actually a reoccurring problem in my life. You know, I keep thinking about ways to, like, deal with it, but it's really hard. It's really hard to change how you feel about something. You know, because that's not a logical. That's logic doesn't touch emotion very well. Um, like, logic is a really good, like, check on emotion, but it's not all that good at, like, logic isn't going to make a funny thing funnier. It's not going to make you happier. It's, you know, it doesn't do that kind of thing. Ironically enough, it might make things sadder. I don't know why that is. Um, so yeah, I really like anyone who has, like, a mood disorder, like, knows what I'm talking about. Where it's just like, most people who have depression who look like they're really excited are faking it. They're faking it and hoping that by faking it, it becomes real, because sometimes it does. It's just not. It's not as predictable as you would like. You know, it's one of those things. That's why I have, like, a bit of sympathy for uh some people on Instagram. Like if you're one of those people that's just, like, fucking pretending to help out just for a photo op, yeah, go fuck yourself. You know, but there are a lot of people on Instagram who are just trying to keep it going. They're just trying to keep themselves going. And that I have a lot of sympathy for, because yeah, that's hard. Like, that's really hard, particularly if you have, like, a mood disorder. What are my thoughts on the sequels overall? I think they're okay. We're talking about Star Wars, right? I think they're okay. I mean, first one I thought was pretty good. Second one I really liked. Third one, kind of didn't stick the landing. Yeah, mental illness will make you a decent actor. You know, like, that's a. I have a hard time with it because I'm like, I'm super expressive, so whatever I'm feeling is, like, how I look. You know, with the exception of angry. Like, if I'm feeling neutral, I look pissed. You know, like, I could always see myself as, like an extra in movies. Like, the one guy in the background is just sitting there, like, and then like, Bruce Willis shoots me or something. Like, um, also, I often can't tell. Often, I'm also told I'm very threatening looking. So I don't know what to do about that. I have no idea what to do about that. Yeah, step 8. You're usually okay once you get to the hotel. Yeah, I know what you mean. Sometimes when it takes me like a few hours to get into the groove of being at a convention, and then I'm like pretty much okay. You know? Yeah, I do that a lot. When you're concentrating on writing, you look pouty. Well, yeah, I'm not surprised. Usually just because I'm not feeling real good about what has been written. I'm not that big a dude. Like I'm smaller than Horror Guru. I'm shorter and more compact. And Horror Guru looks very friendly, you know. Yeah, I think it suggests that I grew up a certain way and I have a certain kind of face. My eyes don't open really big. You know, I have kind of the traditional like squinty Asian eyes. Yeah, to be famous, I think, and to be famous, and to be honest, I think I would like to be like a semi-famous, like like character actor, background dude. Like just hold a gun. It's like we need like 5 Yakuza guys. You're one of them. Okay, which one am I? You're Yakuza number 3. Ooh, I was number 5 before, moving up in the world. Um, can I do a Carl impression? Yeah, we can do that. But oh, sometimes it comes and goes. You know, kind of like wings. You know, you eat them and then yeah, you just sort of rent them. Am I right? Hey. Yeah. Um, the ice cream machine guy from Empire. Ice cream machine guy. You talking about Empire Strikes Back or Empire the TV show? Because I've only seen like 2 episodes of the Empire TV show. Meatwad I can't do. That's Yogi. Yogi has to do Meatwad. Oh yeah, I could totally be punk alternative Yakuza thug. I would totally do that. Oh man, just just ask me to show up. I'm there. Thoughts on the Futurama revival? None. I haven't seen anything yet. Oh Bender. Oh, fucking dude finally signed on. Good, good. I don't remember there being an ice cream guy in Empire Strikes Back. I don't remember there being ice cream in Empire Strikes Back. Is this some sort of special edition shit? Empire Strikes Back ice cream maker. What the fuck? Wilro Hood? What the fuck? Oh. Oh, I see. Like in the background of one scene, there's like a dude who's holding a thing that is an ice cream maker. But what the shit? Wait, they have lookalike costumes for this dude? Okay. What's Is this some OG or like huh. Huh. Oh god, now I'm running into like those fucking shitty bullshit like YouTube videos that don't actually like have anything in their contents which matched the thumbnail. I hate the return of these goddamn things. And so you see something kind of cool in the thumbnail and you're like, well, where's that thing? I want to see that thing. And then you get to it and it's like bullshit. Ugh, too bad, man. What the fuck? Ew. Yeah, just look at some gross shit. Fell into some Star Wars shit. You forgot that you were. Yeah, I mean, oh, hold on. Let me show you some. This is gonna be great. Here, let's show you some gross shit right here. Like maybe we'll get in trouble for this. Maybe we won't. Hopefully we won't. But I mean, like, all right. So like, feast your eyes on that shit. I don't even know what it is. Like a parasite lives in a tree, something like that. I don't know. Guys like picking shit out of them. We're all grody. Guys eating some stuff. I don't even know, man. It's just gross. That's just gross. Yeah, the clickbait is real. They rebuilt a Gillette razor as a communicator for Qui-Gon. Hey, man, like, I'm okay with doing that. Fucking, have I had pistachio ice cream? Yes. Why? Mango worms. All right, I'm gonna do it. Mango worms. All right. Oh, oh, oh! Good God! Oh, yeah, that's oh, that's bad. Damn. All right, now let's stop that. Make Jar Jar out of Rocky Road. Oh, jeez. Hey, John, how you doing? Mango worms. Like, no, no, those are that's no, that's okay. Holy crap. Oh, it is totally a mistake. Ugh. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, something can live like that? Oh. It's like bot flies, except there's like more than one, and there are a bunch of them, and they're like that big. And that's just like the larva stage. Ooh. Well, I gotta see gross stuff, man. I really want to. I do sometimes want to see it. Ever watch the YouTuber Star Wars Theory? Which one? I don't watch a lot of movie theories. It's not my thing. Someone tried to commission mango worm smut from you. Whoa! Oh. Winter Hex is like, I'm cooking a whole chicken currently. Yeah, might want to leave that on for an extra like 5 minutes. You know, oof. Yep, John's like, I just watched the whole video, Mango Worms, 8 out of 10. Joe Bob says, check it out. Oh, God. So how you doing, John? How was your day? Would be worse if it was aphids? Well, the aphids aren't quite as gross. Oh, that's also the channel's name? Ah. Oh, Goliath Bird Eater? Are you talking about the fucking spider? Let's see. First of all, I gotta actually not worm Easter. Yeah, the worm-eating tarantula. No, Goliath Bird Eater. Bird. Whoa! Oh my God, that guy is huge. That is a very big tarantula. It's about the size of your hand. Ooh. Big Spooter. Oh, the parasitic wasp. Yeah, that's a fun one. Let's see. Took a walk, had friends over for a cookout. Now I'm here. Do you want to come on and chat for a bit? There, John. I keep trying to figure out how to like make this stream more fucking both more profitable and more, I don't know. I'm trying, man. I don't know what to do in this life. Um yeah, you saw Goliath Bird Eater in person, you blow up the neighborhood. You're just like burn the house down. We're just moving kids. Whalebone worm. Okay, all right. Kind of got my interest on that one. Let's see what we got. Whalebone worm. No, I mean that's It's not the worst. I was expecting much more horrific, actually. Latest species named after Jabba the Hutt. Okay. What? All right. Yeah, maybe we need to, like, not. New species of bone eating worm. Ugh. Yeah, a lot of gross stuff out there in that there world.
I don't care what you do behind closed doors, but once you start putting mummies in the yard where I can see them, it becomes my business.
Oh, thank you, Papa Pineapple.
Keep going. You will grow. I honestly believe that.
Yeah, John. You get yourself together. Oh, thanks, Thorgrim. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hopefully this will all work out.
Oh yeah, forgot about the equipment fund.
Yep. Nature is icky sometimes. I know. Hey, Doom Bloomer, how you doing? I know it's just gross. It's gross. Do you think the female Hutt in the Book of Boba Fett has male slaves? Probably. I mean, if she's into that kind of thing, she may not be. I mean, I don't see why she wouldn't be, but like, what I'm saying is we don't know enough yet. Oh boy. Listings. Now I don't need a sample. Dun dun dun. Aha! Right. Dun 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 dun. You know what? Maybe I should see if that t-shirt link works. So what's Jap shot for? Oh no, he's trying to find his own that old t-shirt, print-on-demand t-shirt that I had, and I'm like, I wonder if that link still works. Do. Yeah, can someone like click on that link and make sure that it goes to like a place? It just says Jackula store featured products and it has like The tank top and a black tank top and a black shirt with the logo on it. I'm like, yeah, it's probably about time we put those on sale again. In fact, I should probably buy myself another one. Uh Doom Bloomer. Don't worry about time lost on making something like a video game. Fucking just to move forward. Like when it comes to delivering, like no, trust me. All right, here's the thing. When it comes to an art, what people really care about is delivering. If you are young, what the bonus is that you are moldable, potentially more teachable, but only potentially. An old guy coming in who shows raw talent is way more valuable than the guy with a degree. Unless the guy with the degree also has talent, you know, like. But even then, it's not going to be the same. Do you know? For example, like. For Babylon, there are a lot of people. I know a lot of good artists who I'm like, no, I can't tap them for this because their style is just not suitable. You know, that I was just like, no, I need horror. I need horror and sex and those kinds of things. You know, and there are not a lot of people that can do that stuff. And even if they're good at it in one way, it I don't have time to find out whether they can adjust their style. I have to be able to see the proof. This is a big issue when it comes to like furry artists. Like furry artists are very good, but you want to know whether or not they can do non-furry stuff. You know, and a lot of them don't have that on their portfolio, so if they don't have it, then you have to assume that the answer is no. You know, it's also if you're like, no, I don't want to do non-furry art, then you don't necessarily want any of the jobs that I'm gonna need done. You know. Yeah, if they're not don't fit the aesthetic, they aren't good. Like usually some artists are known to be very good because they have relationships with writers, and so the writer is kind of knows has an idea. Sometimes you know what an artist can do because you know them more than their portfolio. Like you've seen the other stuff that they thought wasn't good enough, and you're like, no, we need that, I want that. Ever wore braces? My teeth? Yeah, totally. Oh, all furry artists are worried that they're stuck in the furry style. Yeah. That's why you need to branch out. It's one of those like it's not that the furry art is bad. It's that is a type of art that only works with in a specific context with a specific audience. Which actually specific audience is probably going too far, but it only works in a specific context, which is guaranteed to exist at a furry convention or in a furry community. But outside of that, not so much. You know, and furries are everywhere. You know, they're in every other community you're a part of. They're always there. But you know, sometimes they blend in, many times they don't. But they're there. Do, 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 do. But you've got this kind of weird double-edged sword when it comes to asking people to change their style. One, they may not want to, and that's bad. Or they may not want to, but it might turn out that they do. They were just scared. That happens a lot. That happens a lot. One of the I don't know how to say it other than why don't you see more um, furry artists in professional circumstances? Because the furry art doesn't go into the professional portfolio because that's way too specific. That gets you pigeonholed really easily. Like I say, once you are the Sonic porn guy, that's who you are. You know. And that's hard. Now, in the digital age, it's real easy. It's always been easy. And I know a lot of furry artists who do this. It is very easy to have two artistic identities. The furry artist and the non, and have them be completely separated. Like they just don't touch each other. There are a lot of artists that do that. One of the funny things is that right now there are a lot of professional artists, guys who would used to like guys and gals who used to make I'm gonna do the real shit, right? The shit that you've all seen. But they've dropped off of that scene because doing porn was just way more profitable. Like before, if you wanted to make a living off of that, you had to keep doing shows. You had to keep going to like comic shows and furry shows and all that kind of shit. You don't need to do that anymore. It's a good idea to do that. It's a very good idea. But like, if you're already known, you can just stay in your studio as long as you got the internet connection. All right, so I gotta take a whiz, and I'm gonna bring John back in. Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. It scared the fucking piss out of me.
You mean like just right now?
Yeah. I was sitting there like grooving to the music, and all of a sudden, like, hey,
Hey, how you doing? Ah!
Jesus Christ! Bad trip, bad trip, bad trip.
Oh man, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I kind of there with you. Could be worse. Could be worse. Could be better. You
Right.
know. Uh.
So just got done watching the State of the Union. It was all bullshit.
Oh, okay. That all sounded pretty signifying nothing, huh?
It's just the usual Democrat line of, "Hey, you remember all that stuff we got elected on? We're gonna do it. All right, do it. Well,
All
hold
right.
on.
Yeah.
It's not the right time to do that."
I just want shit done. Like, that is definitely where I am, where it's like, hey, Jack, how do you feel about the Democrats? Look, as they get shit done, that's all I care about. Now, with that said, that therein lies the issue often.
Right.
You know, why I am only so much of a Democrat, like, just...
Look, they're the closest thing in American politics that agrees with us.
Exactly. It's like I at least get a seat at the table, in a sense, My ideas are at least on the table. They're then thrown in the garbage, but at least they get there, like
Right. Right. Whereas with the other side of the table, I am killed.
yeah. Other side of the table, like I'm not even allowed to exist, like that's a problem. That's a huge problem. Completely. So nothing substantial about like Ukraine or anything like that, or
He kind of talked a little bit about that, but he was basically like, the U.S. is going to back up NATO countries as that's what NATO is for.
right. That's the standard line,
Right, which it's such a shitty fucking thing, but it's kind of the only thing we can do.
Well, yeah,
Currently.
because the big problem is that I keep thinking about what would happen if it turns out that like Russia's nuclear arms were completely useless.
See, that's like
If
I've
that
been having that thought
happened,
lately too.
I imagine everyone would go ape shit.
Well, it's like
You know?
the thing I think that has been most surprising to me, and I think I talked about this last night, is the kind of reality smashing that happened with when Russia invaded Ukraine, where it's like Russia's got this fucking gigantic fucking Giga Chad like crushes all the pussy fucking like army, and then when they actually have to fight someone that has a standing army, they kind of fucking fall to pieces.
Yeah. You say,
And
it's
I'm
like, oh, okay.
What,
Not
y'all
the
had-
not the surge forward I was expecting. I wasn't expecting the Ukraine to just roll over, but I was expecting
Right.
Russia to go in a lot more like the US going into like fucking Iraq the first time. Like it was
Right.
just going to be like really fast, really hard. They're going to get a lot of victory very quickly.
Right.
And no,
Well,
that's not the way it's gone.
You notice a difference here, which is we didn't fucking stage troops on the fucking border for a month ahead of time and let everyone know that it's probably happening.
Yeah, we just invaded.
Yeah.
Like we just did it, like that right there.
And before anyone comes on here and fucking bitches about us being bad leftists for not calling out American imperialism, yes, it was fucking bad. It's maybe not as bad as what Russia's doing to Ukraine, but it's still fucking bad. Imperialism anywhere is terrible.
It's terrible. It's bad. Yeah. I mean,
whether
well,
it's
like
the West doing it, or whether it's Russia doing it, or whether it's
I
China
was against those wars too.
Exactly.
Like I was against those wars too. You know what?
I mean, I would love for this to end with no fucking war, and like it just ends. But
well, you want it to without it becoming more war.
Right.
You know, like it's already war. It's just not necessarily world war. You know what I mean?
Right. I would
Like
prefer.
Belarus coming in is kind of making it a little more likely it's going to go world war. But like, eh.
But yeah, it's like I don't know. I just think it's just I think it's funny that a lot of people are worried about like the aftermath of this shit
You know?
and how people are going to be treated. Like for instance, I know there's a lot of people that have been cheering the African people that are being pushed back into Ukraine from Poland. I mean, yes,
Oh, that shit. Yeah.
yeah, which yes, that is happening, but it's happening because Poland says that you need to have a Ukraine visa in order to just walk in.
Well, it's
Most of
one of
those
those
are
things where I'm like, is that about racism? Hell yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
it
hell
is.
yeah, it is. You know, like damn straight.
It's
But
everyone's like, can you believe that Europe is racist? And I'm like, where do you think
yes.
we got this shit from?
Yeah, where do you think we learned it from? We learned it from watching you. You know, like
Right.
that's how that is. I'm not, but the problem that I'm having right now is I'm sort of like, look, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying like we gotta pick our battles here at the moment.
Right. Like,
You know, we got bigger titty. Like this sounds fucked up, but it's like, yeah, no, we actually do got bigger titties to lick right now.
right.
Usually that that racist titty is as big as it gets. But now we're moving in on World War. They haven't invented cup sizes for that yet. You know, like we
I mean, I know what you're saying.
yeah, like we just gotta like no, we gotta focus on making sure World War doesn't happen. Then we can fucking address all the other stuff. And if you are a person for whom no, I know how to I can handle this. I can handle the racism thing and leave the World War struggle to itself. Congrat, fantastic. I cannot do both at once. You know, I cannot
um,
do both at once.
and here's the thing, like, I hate the fact that this entire event has made NATO and the EU much more feasible and much more likable.
Why do you
Like,
hate that?
because I don't really like the whole overarching government over other governments thing. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like I'm even not even that big of a fan of the UN. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay, all right.
yeah, it's just like a government on top of government on top of government. I'm an anarchist. I'd prefer there be none.
Yeah,
One's too many.
I don't know what to tell you. Like I've run in a lot of anarchist collectives, and I've tried living that way.
Right.
Oh man, yeah, you run into a lot of problems really fucking quick.
Of course you do.
And
Like,
the biggest problem is how to get anything done when no one person is allowed to wield power at any one point.
right. And it's
That's a
usually
big fucking issue.
and it usually leads to one person gaining all the power and
Exactly.
blah 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 blah. We know how that
Exactly.
fucking goes. Look, I'm fully aware that is a negative of my system. That's the reason why, like, I want as little government as possible. Like, I don't want to live like out in the woods, like sucking on fucking goat tits
Oh
for
yeah. Well,
and it
like
just being me and 7 people.
yeah. Well, like for me, it's one of those. To me, government is inevitable. You
Right,
know, I see it as an inevitable byproduct of X many people trying to live together in a single society.
right,
Like that's just the way it is because we need shortcuts.
right,
Otherwise, our monkey brains can't fucking handle it. You know,
right,
they can only go so far before we're like, oh, my brain's just gonna. We're not gonna start automatically putting people in boxes.
right,
You know, just so that we can work the puzzle.
right.
You know, we're gonna abstract it out, and while that creates a lot of problems, it's either that or not be able to deal with it at all.
Right. It's like, look, I just, it just, like I said, the reason why I don't like the whole NATO thing and EU thing is that it's another government agency over localized government. But that being said, right now it's really showing why we fucking need that shit.
Well, we need. Oh yeah. Like this is the EU's moment to shine, to show that
Right.
it can actually like pull some shit. It and NATO are now showing. Oh, by the way, we can't pull shit together. By the way, just letting you fucking know, because when everyone agrees on shit, that's the power of like I don't even know what you would call it, representative democracy maybe. I don't even know what to call it. But when
Okay,
you
time out.
have like what?
Someone's saying that Ukraine's going to last a few days. I have heard so many.
They've
of you
already
motherfuckers-
lasted a few days.
Yeah, I've heard so many of you motherfuckers saying that they weren't going to make it to fucking Saturday. I don't give a shit. Y'all can fucking doom scroll you fucking want. At this point, I'm gonna let the Ukraine army fucking.
I'm gonna yeah. At this point, it's up to the conflict itself. How bad the conflict gets is really going to be up to Russia.
Right.
Because at this point, everyone else can back off.
Right.
Everyone else is willing to back the fuck off. But the longer this goes, the worse it's going to get.
Right.
Because unlike a lot of other wars that we have become involved in, one, this actually directly involves us.
Right.
Like this isn't just like, oh, well, we're doing this for some sort of military strategy or some sort of ideological reason. No. This is pure fucking world strategy.
Right.
This is pure like, oh no, we can't let them get into Ukraine because X. But we also have to avoid nuclear war.
Right.
And I'll say this. Nuclear war is a lot more complicated than you think it is.
Oh yeah, it's not what the fucking movies told you.
Yeah. There is a point where somebody blinks.
Right.
And funny enough, like somebody's got to be willing to commit the suicide action. And I don't mean launch the missiles. I mean don't.
Right.
It's like, oh my god, it looks like missiles are coming at us. We're not. No, then we just die. That's the shit that's going to save everybody. And the Russians have done that more than once.
Right.
Like nuclear war is dicey because the stakes are so fucking high.
Right.
No one can predict what will happen. That's why it hasn't happened yet.
Right, and that's the thing. Like, once that fucking threshold's been crossed, it's basically who wants to be the king of ashes, and even like despotic fucking crazy people don't want to rule nobody.
Yeah. You don't want to be the ruler of a dead city. Like there's no power in that.
Right.
So it's it's a big deal. Like, well, it's why like when I get right down to it, it's like, nah, I'm a socialist. I believe that there's going to be some form of government that holds the union together. That's just inevitable. I don't exactly know what shape that's going to take. I know it's not going to be everyone out for themselves.
No, it can't be.
Yeah, it can't be. That's not going to work. That's not going to happen. They're going to be the only way it becomes everyone out for themselves is if we're in an extinction level scenario.
Right.
And I don't mean like bad things. I don't mean we're decimated. I don't mean even that the population is cut in half. I mean like there are 5,000 people on the planet.
That's it.
Yeah, then that's it. Like we're in an extinction event. Like for real.
Right. But God, to alleviate some of the.
Are we all gonna die? No.
No,
We are not all gonna die. However, the problem is that right now it is looking like how many people die is all up to Russia.
Right. Though I want to say this to alleviate some of it. It's a random thought I had today while watching the EU address the whole Ukraine thing. I'm sitting there like, so there's a great nuclear power that's threatening the world, but against all odds, the majority of the world, like Western and Eastern Hemisphere, have come together to fight off this nuclear. God fucking damn it, we are going to the Star Trek world. Fuck.
Yeah, it might be. Maybe, man. You know?
Like I was like, man, can we have like a little bit of cyberpunk before we go to Star Trek? Nope. Nope.
Hey, be careful what you wish for, man. Who knows how it's
I
gonna
know,
fucking go
like
down.
I know.
Hey,
I know.
look. If it
I'd
turns
rather have
out,
Star Trek.
well, let me put it this way: if Star Trek is the way that it's just sort of like, oh yeah, here's the pleasure planet. It's been standing for thousands of years. They just fucking suck everybody. You know, everything's cool. Everything's cool. Everything's cool. There are enough resources for everybody on the planet, and you know, it's a nice tourist destination spot. How's that? If Star Trek is how we get there, I'm all for it. You know, but hey, man, however we get there, or whatever is going to happen, will happen.
Right.
And that's a act of radical acceptance to
Yeah,
just
I mean,
be like, I have no fucking clue. I have
Yeah.
no fucking clue.
A Gen Xer and an old millennial are going to tell you why we aren't like fucking freaking out about it, because we've heard this shit 4 or 5 times already.
Yeah. And it's one of those like, and every time, well, let me put it this way. This, to be honest, to be fair, and to be very clear, this is as close as we've come yet.
Yeah, since the 60s, but yeah.
Yeah, it's since, oh yeah, well this is bigger than the Cuban Missile Crisis because there's actually open
100%.
conflict.
Yeah, well, 100%.
Yeah, this is like open conflict, and it is very, very close. Like, how to put it, man? The Ukraine is not quite Europe,
But it's
and
Europe
that's
enough.
but it's really close. And if everyone knows, if Russia breaks through into Poland, then it's live, it's real.
Yeah.
You know, then it's World War III, whether or not a single nuclear bomb is dropped. It's World War III.
Right.
You know, the question is going to be like, will any nuclear bombs be dropped and how many?
Right.
You know, like that will be the question at that point. But right now we're not quite there. Although, to be fair, Russia could take us there very easily. And that's what's scary.
100%. But at the same time, I don't think Putin has enough fucking allies in Russia to fucking make that play.
I think that play would be a lot harder to pull off than than him just saying so.
Right.
You know, I that's the point at which there's probably going to be somebody going, no.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I'll have you killed. Well, okay then.
You're gonna kill us all, you crazy bastard.
You know, and then people start pulling out pistols.
Yeah.
You know, like that's how because this is how we're gonna do it. This is how we're gonna do it.
Yeah. It's
You know?
like, I'll have you killed. You crazy fuck, you're gonna kill all of us if you don't stop.
Yeah. There
won't be a Russia left.
Did Ukraine actually enter the EU?
They put in their application.
They put in their application. I don't know. No, they're not on it yet. It hasn't happened yet. But they're working together to make it happen.
Right.
But we're not quite there, you know, but it's an extremely likely outcome.
Saint Spite, hopefully I said that right, or Saint Speed. I legit don't think Putin expected this much resistance.
No, I don't think he did. I don't think he did.
He thought this was going to
Nobody did. That's the thing. Like, nobody did.
I kind of saw it coming.
I saw resistance coming. I didn't think it was going to be this effective.
Right. I knew that this wasn't going to be like an easy fucking invasion. Like this wasn't going to be a fucking Syria or fucking Afghanistan or whatever.
No, it wasn't going to be like that at all.
Yeah. So,
you know, but I was kind of surprised it took them like 5 days to get to Kiev.
And all those miles incredibly bloody.
Yeah, because like when you look at like the map, you know, Kiev map. Ugh, excuse me. Ba 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 ba. It's not. Granted, you got to get to the Oh god, I forget what that river is called that splits the Ukraine in half. Essentially, like you have to get to the center of the country, but you can do that from the Russian border.
Right.
Yeah, so I thought they were going to at least I thought they were going to get that far very quickly, and then it was going to be like a matter of retaking the capital, fending them off, and losing it again, and retaking it, like
Right.
that kind of shit. Not so far, it hasn't been taken, and I'm like, and it's been a week. Like that's like forever in modern war terms.
I hate to be that person, but like propaganda, when met with reality, usually crumbles.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
And also to take a line from another great film, don't get high on your own fucking supply. Unfortunately, Russia got really high on their own supply and thinking they're much tougher than they are.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, the will to fight counts for a lot.
Exactly.
And if you have a conscripted army, the will to fight is notoriously low.
Yeah, like most of the fucking people that were in that army have only been part of the Russian army for a year.
Yeah. Like, that's, like, if a bunch of Americans got drafted and we were told, all right, we're going to invade Canada, we'd all be like, what? We're going to invade Canada? Why? It's like, oh, because Russia has moved nuclear arms closer to their shore, and that threatens
Canada's got Nazis in it.
Yeah, Canada's got Nazis in it, and they're gonna fucking invade Alaska. What? Like, what? What are you talking about? Invade Alaska? Like, that doesn't... How? How could you do that without, like, fucking flying them in? Or yeah, you basically have to fly them in, Like, you can't get troops up that far north that quickly over the fucking tundra. Yeah, over the permafrost and shit. Like, that's not gonna happen.
Right. And my question would be, why Canada? That's a lot of Russians' questions of like, why Ukraine?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, Ukraine is like that other country, and sometimes we don't get along, but like, huh?
And the thing is like, before all this happened, the Russian economy was in a fucking tailspin.
Yeah.
Now, because of all this shit, it is a much worse tailspin. Like, they haven't fucking opened the market since Monday. I think it was Friday.
So when is NATO going to help the Ukraine from the invasion? They already have. That's already happened.
They haven't done it directly. Like, there's not been NATO forces that showed up and fucking kicked their ass. But
yeah. But there's a lot of assistance to the resistance.
Right. And I know we can play this whataboutism game about like, well, what about Yemen, or what about Afghanistan, or what about Syria, or what? Like, I understand.
Oh yeah. That to me is like, well, yeah, that's the racist angle. That's the racist part of it.
It's like, I understand that the reason why everyone's losing their shit about Ukraine is because it's white people. I get that.
Yeah. But like the real reason, above and beyond that, is because you go to war with Afghanistan, you're not actually threatening World War III.
Right.
You're not actually threatening a nuclear power. That they had to make up the fact that nuclear arms existed to get Americans to want to go in.
Right.
Like, we don't have to make that shit up here. We know. We fucking know.
We're painfully aware that Russia has nukes. Why? Because we kind of helped them build them.
Yeah. There's been this historic rivalry, and like, well, it's not even that we helped them. It's that's what our rivalry has been about from the beginning.
Yeah,
We have been
instead
spying on the. We know because we have been spying and
Right.
making sure we know. You know, like, and even then, like a fucking what's its fuck a Chernobyl accident still happened.
right.
You know, that still caught everybody with pants down. You know, so it's one of those. Here are all the arms that we know about. Is that all they have? Probably not.
That's all the ones that are on the receipts.
Yeah. These are just all the ones that we can prove. You know, and the thing is, America is the exact same way.
Oh yeah.
You know, we are the exact same fucking way. Like,
Yeah.
there are probably nuclear weapons we have that we have no fucking clue about. You know, it's gonna be one of those things where all of a sudden the Statue of Liberty is gonna split in half and fucking an Ultraman missile is gonna fucking go up. We're gonna be like, when did that happen? You know, like, and they're like, oh well, you know, this was all those misappropriated funds from back when a hammer cost $500. You know, like, what do you think we were doing with it? Like, whoa,
Fucking
you know,
George Washington's mouth on Mount Rushmore just opens.
just opens and like, yeah, exactly.
Fucking 3 SR-71s just bolt out of it.
Yeah, we'll be like, what? You
What?
know, like, okay, kind of cool, and yet at the same time, what? How did we miss that? And it's just like, no, you just, you know, secrets, man. When everyone can keep a secret, it's really good.
Alcatraz rises out of the bay as a fucking gigantic mech comes
It's
out.
like fucking Macross. You know? Oh my god. Yeah. There's gonna be some. I guarantee there's like. It's probably not gonna be. It's not that cool, but like, you're gonna find that is a thing. You know, like, that is a thing. We've got more than we're fucking letting on.
Right.
You know, just like Russia is. There's
Right.
no way they don't.
Oh, and that's the thing. Like, I know everyone's fucking freaking out about it, and justifiably so. But right now, we're still in the wait and see area, which is a good place to fucking be.
Which is, well, it's better than duck and cover. I'll tell you that. Duck and cover. Why are you telling people to do this? Just so that they think that there's something they should do.
To give them hope.
Yeah. It's like, what happens if you feel a nuclear blast? Oh, you're dead.
Well, actually, if you feel
Not necessarily instantly,
one, right?
but
If
you're
you feel one, there's a chance you can
dead.
survive. Yeah.
Well, if you see one, there's a chance you'll survive.
Right.
If you feel one, you're a little bit closer.
Right.
That, and you just like, that's one of those like, well, just felt the nuclear blast. Okay, I guess it's, yeah, like, if you feel it, but like, there's only like a little bit of rumbling. That's like, well, 12 days, I guess. You know, like, you know, you're gonna start turning to the Incredible Melting Man within like, you know, a week.
But what if instead we turn into ghouls?
See, that'd be kind of sweet. That'd be sweet. We like those Fallout ghouls.
Yeah.
You know, we're just immune to radiation. Just like, yeah, fuck you. You know,
What you doing, smooth skin?
skin. You know.
I'm not saying that's the idealized fucking future, but not too
Yeah,
bad.
well, you know, like it'll definitely be a Jurassic Park. Life finds a way. You know, like kind of crazy crap. Like we'll all be hunting out there with 2-headed wolves and shit. You know, like "Ruff, ruff, 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 down boys. You know.
That it actually there's no such thing as orcs. There's just highly irradiated people.
Well, yeah, that's how I always read the super mutants. I was like, no, they're basically space orcs, except they're humans. They're just mutants. You know, they're already green, aren't they?
Most of them are
Greenish, you know.
Some of them are purple, and some of them are like orange.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and let's not forget the Rad Ghoul.
Yes.
The Rad Ghoul is just kind of cool, you know. Like,
You're your own nightlight.
yeah, exactly. You know, like I always love the look of the Rad Ghouls because it's sort of like, well, that looks scary. You know.
And you know, Jason Blight looks fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Jason Bright, excuse me.
Oh man.
2020 is in a nutshell. We went from wondering if Civil War II was going to happen to wondering about World War III. Well, like, how do, again, how do I make positives out of extreme negatives? Okay. Russia right now has destroyed any credibility they had, and all of their propaganda has stopped working because no one believes it anymore. So, as far as that like Civil War II thing, I think you're going to find out a lot more of the crazy Republicans are going to shut the fuck up, or at least I've been given a platform anymore. At least I hope so.
Yeah, that's the aspect of this whole thing that I am most
I can't wait.
wondering
to see the
about
receipts.
whether or not the receipts basically prove that a lot of high-level Republicans are actually completely funded by Russia.
Well,
what happens after that?
You know what's funny? Marco Rubio's already been caught with $1.5 million from a Russian oligarch that had been seized.
Shocked, I tell you.
I know, right?
Shocked.
Me too. I can't believe it.
Oh no,
No, I just cannot fucking fathom how that happened. I expected so much better from the conservative arm of the American political system.
Well, I did until the Trump era, Trump, I never thought I would miss the days when Dick Cheney was the ultimate Republican.
Well, see, that's the thing. Trump didn't introduce this element. That element had been there for years. Trump just gave a voice to it.
Yeah, he really did. But I just found myself going no, Dick Cheney was a fucking monster. But he was an American monster.
Oh, he's willing to burn African kids in fucking fire. So
yeah. No, he's an evil guy, but I didn't think that he was gonna attack America.
Well, he wouldn't.
Yeah, no, of course he wouldn't. That would be there's no reason to do that, But now when you got guys like Mitch McConnell and shit, you're oh, I'm not so sure, man.
Well, see, Mitch McConnell's one thing. Mitch McConnell doesn't fucking scare me. You know who fucking scares me? People like fucking Matt Gaetz and
Marjorie Taylor Greene. Those people are very scary.
1 second. Alexa, shut up.
Okay, John.
Sorry.
Yeah. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz, those people, they are very, very, very scary.
Right.
Because those are people who are never supposed to be anywhere close to the levers of power.
Because they shouldn't be.
No, because they shouldn't be. The two Supreme Court justices.
Tony Barrett and Brett Kavanaugh.
Yeah, Brett Kavanaugh. They're also two people that should never be anywhere close to the levers of power.
Well, yeah, but we elected a fucking moron, and then two justices left back to back.
Yep. Yep. Oh, should we pack the court? Oh, well, what about this? Blah, blah. Do we want to make the judiciary a political appointment? I'm that ship sailed the minute Kavanaugh was fucking confirmed. That shit is over. That shit ended when fucking RGB died. Actually, no. That it was dead when Kavanaugh was fucking put into the fucking Supreme Court. By the time fucking RGB died, we had finished filling in the grave.
Right. And also this is the reason why you can't trust Republicans to do what they say they're going to do, or at least play by the same rules they expect everyone else to do, because they don't. So why the fuck do we have to fucking play this kindness game with them? It's kind of where I'm at now, where it's I'm not entirely mad at Democrats because they do generally want the right thing, but they never fucking fight for it, and that's my goddamn issue.
Yeah, because it's on a certain level they're trying to keep the peace, and that makes sense as
Like,
long
see-
as the other side is willing to have it.
Right.
That's what's
again,
changed.
It's the ironic thing about both me and you, where it's like we both want peace, but I don't want to fucking be a slave. Have
Yeah,
be
because that
less
ain't
than a
peace.
yeah, because that's not peace.
Mm-hmm. That ain't peace. That's
it's-
oppression.
Like Peacemaker's not a conservative. Peacemaker's a neoliberal. Like,
Oh, the
I-
character?
yeah,
Yeah, he's a neoliberal, libertarian, like, fucking, I do what I want kind of guy.
well, no, he's the I don't care about I don't care about left or right. We both should just we should all just get along in peace. I want peace no matter what, and I'll kill whoever I have to maintain it.
Yeah, he's got this very, like, warped idea, but, like, ultimately we discover his heart's in it. Like, his heart's in the right place.
Oh, yeah.
It's just everything else is broken. Everything
Poor
else
fella.
is wrong. Yeah, poor guy.
It's like you know that like I might be telling myself a little bit here, but that one straight friend you have that's like really obsessed with like conservative culture,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
and you like one day he kind of like says like, hey, I got something to tell you, and he comes out a little bit to you. He's like, I think I'm attracted to guys, but he hates himself for it. So he just like playing the waiting game for him to finally figure it out and be
Yeah.
happy, and then
Yeah, you're just sort of like, yeah, that's great, Steve. You know.
yeah,
that's,
like
you know,
I understand. Yeah, it's terrible. He's like, but you know, I still believe in guns. I bet you do.
I
bud.
bet you do, Steve. You know, like that.
I do
that.
too.
Yeah. I do too,
Um,
because this just happened. You know.
Man, looking at that Ukraine thing though, as like as an anarchist, like anti-statist. I'm like,
Wow.
they're handing
Yeah.
out guns and teaching people how to make Molotov cocktails on the fucking news. What the fuck? What kind of government is this? What the fuck are you doing?
Well, it's a government that realizes that trying to control the situation is pointless.
Right. 'Cause
The one
there is no
thing that you
control
have,
to it.
yeah, the one thing that you got to do, because it's like, okay, we're going to empower everyone, and we're going to try our best to keep everyone on task, and that task is repel the Russian invader.
Right.
That's it. That's the one order. Very clear, very obvious, nice, concise, easy.
Right.
You know, because there's no way these, you know, they're gonna win in an organized fight. They got a fucking Vietnam it. They got a fucking American Revolution it.
Right.
You know, like don't say it can't work. If you live in America, you're living proof that it can.
Right.
You know, like what? Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you think like did you not realize that Britain had the superior everything in terms of military? They had the superior everything.
Except for one thing.
Yeah, except for one thing. There's a crazy guy at the top. And two,
Oh my god, it's fitting too well.
it fits way too well. Yeah. Yeah, there's a crazy guy at the top, and the other is that fucking it's very easy to go, those guys are invading us. We should kill them. That's a real easy sell.
It's like, well, don't you like here? Well, yeah, I kind of do like here. Well, these people are coming over to take here away from you. Well, that sucks. It does suck. Here's a rifle, kid.
Here's a rifle. Yeah, that sucks. Here's a rifle. Like, you know, like, what are you going to do? You know,
Right.
like,
And again, like, even America didn't have all of the worlds that were like, they didn't have all of the other nations in the world supporting them until they started kicking
Thank you, dude, Bloomer.
Britain,
John is a gem.
until they
So is
started
Jack.
kicking fucking Britain in the nuts a couple of times repeatedly, and then the world was like, oh well, wait a minute, like, fuck Britain.
yeah.
You know?
Then we had the war in 1812, which is a bit more of an organized conflict.
Yeah,
You know,
War of
because-
1812 was basically like, fuck you, Spain.
Yeah, fuck you, Spain. Fuck you, fucking Britain. You know, Britain's like, yeah, we'll take these guys over again. We got rid of that old king. We're raring to go. But by that point, like, the American the Americans were just sort of like, actually, we've all got guns. Like, it was the exact scenario that the Second Amendment was set up for.
Yeah. The War of 1812 was basically like, did America win that war? No, but we didn't lose it either.
Yeah, that was the big thing. That was the big thing.
Right.
We didn't lose. You know, God, yeah, like that one just kind of stopped. Everyone was just sort of like, all right, you know what? This is costing too much money. Why don't we just let's just reset. You know, like
which is the reason why like the whole sanctions thing is very I'm wondering how effective it's gonna be to completely tank to completely tank Russia's economy.
oh, I think it's going to be extremely effective. The thing is that while that's happening, it's an enemy losing to lack of having to back off because of lack of resources is not as dramatic as having a decisive battle, but it is actually how things are won.
Right. You don't win wars with superior numbers and superior armaments. You win wars by having the superior supply line.
Yeah. You win wars by basically make sure the other guy can't recover.
Right.
You know, like that's exactly what happened in Germany.
Right.
Basically, they ran out of everything.
Yeah, because that's what happens in fascist governments. They start to run out of fucking everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Why do you think Hitler activated the Hitler Youth at the last minute to try to defend Berlin? They didn't have anybody else.
Yeah, that's it.
That's like activating the Boy Scouts. Like, whoa, wait a minute.
Also, doom bloomers. England still has the second strongest navy in the world. Who's number one? Who's number one? Huh? Who took that fucking crown away from them? I really hate America. Man. I just love fucking.
Well, no. We all got a little bit of jingoism in us, man. Like, you know, like don't tell me you don't, because like when Osama bin Laden was shot, I could not stop listening to America. Fuck yeah, you know.
like
America, fuck yeah, coming again to save the motherfucking day. Yeah.
I mean, like, let's be honest here. All of us Americans, when we started seeing that shit from Ukraine and then standing up, you're like, you can almost hear like the Hulk Hogan music in the back.
Oh yeah, no, totally, fucking totally. You know it.
Oh, Flashman, I knew America wasn't going to be the nation leading the way in the 2020s. Not see Ukraine being the one that earned that title. I kind of like. Here's the thing: someone in that area was. That's the way I thought of it. It's like, because, you know, you share a fucking border with Russia. There's going to be a moment where Putin's going to get a little bit antsy and fucking invade someone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's going to.
And here's the thing.
It's going to happen.
Ukraine has stepped up in this situation. It's the wildest fucking thing. Like everyone was like, oh, it's going to be Afghanistan. There's going to be 2 days of fighting and then no one's going to give a shit. And then here we are.
Oh, I knew that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I knew that wasn't going to happen because I'm like, look, even if the fighting is over in 2 days, you better believe people are still going to give a shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, I don't know how to say it other than, look, why does it feel like that happens in the Middle East? Because we don't really see it.
Right.
We don't really see it. We don't see a world that looks like ours in a war.
Right.
You go to the Ukraine, you see a world that looks much similar to the world you live in, living through this, and that just gets you on a visceral level.
Right. And again...
And is there a little bit of that racism? Hell yeah, there is.
Yes,
Hell yeah, there is. You know?
I mean, like I said, I hate to be that person, but like that's the reason why everyone's so supportive. But if you're a leftist and you're like, well, what about, you know, Yemen? What about Syria? Good. Remember that, because once all this shit's over.
Yeah, I agree, but I agree, but let them have this because, like, you know what would be worse is if we did that here. then that's really bad. Like, then then you don't even know what's happening. You know, like, no grip on it whatsoever. And as monstrous as it sounds, at least the racism is working the way we fucking understand it.
Right. But like I was about to say, hold on to that. And the next time this shit happens and it's like American imperialism, fucking shove it in their face.
Yeah,
You know,
totally.
Like, because that's, again, this is how you get world peace. You have one solid fucking enemy, and then you hold the rest of the governments to the standards that you expected from them. Like, the standards that you would expect for, like, if you're mad about how Russia invaded Ukraine, you should tell your own country whenever they invade someone that you'll be just as mad.
Yeah. Because, like, I don't know about you, but I was.
Yeah.
Like, I was.
Yeah.
I was like, we can't just fucking invade Iraq. Why are we invading Iraq? I'm not even saying they're the good guys, man. I'm just saying, why are we doing this?
Fuck, I was 11 years old, and like Afghanistan, I was at least like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. Even if you disagreed with it, you understood why it was happening. You could only disagree with going in. You weren't going to have an argument about why this was happening in the first place.
Right.
Iraq 2, on the other hand, that was why are we doing this, like, at all? Well, we found yellow cake. Okay.
I like yellow cake. It's delicious.
Yellow cake. It's delicious. No, it's like a type of uranium. Okay. All right. So he's trying to develop nuclear arms. Yeah. Of course he is. Like,
Look at where he lives.
Yeah, look at where he lives. Like, of course he's going to do this.
To Russia, they're putting into this.
Yeah, Ukraine does have a lot of fuck yous to Russia at this point.
Yeah.
You
Again,
know?
being a fan of history has really prepared me for this.
Yeah. Yeah, but like it really helps to actually understand why you're fighting. It really helps. And
Why did the North win the Civil War?
They knew what they were fighting for: the preservation of the Union.
Preservation of the Union and for
anti-slavery, abolition.
Yes. You ask any Southern soldier, you would get a multitude of answers because they all fought for different things.
Yeah. And while that's really great for making your numbers look good, like you said, once propaganda hits reality, like, propaganda tends to lose.
Right.
You know, and war is about as real as it fucking gets.
War is the realest test of any bullshit you bring up. Like, there's a reason why America's army is so fucking good. It's not because like we spend the most or we have the best technology. It's because like every time we do something, it's devastating to the other side.
Yeah, and even then, that doesn't always get us where we want to be, though, either. Like, that it didn't in Afghanistan. I mean, it did in Iraq, but it didn't in Afghanistan. Not even a little.
Well, it's Afghanistan is like, what are you fucking gonna do? like this country's already been torn apart by fucking religious.
Yeah. You can't bomb them back to the Stone Age. That's where they live. You know,
like this country has been turned back like 40 fucking years. You're not gonna beat them with fucking bombs.
Yeah.
And yes, Jake, you
motherfuckers held off Britain and Russia. Why do you think the United States has got a shot?
And yes, Jake, like you said, you can criticize America for its war crimes, but also criticize other countries for their war crimes at the same time. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's fucking terrible that.
Yeah, there are Russians who are doing that right now. You know,
exactly. There are Ukrainians that are fucking like fighting their damnedest and trying to make sure everyone gets out, not just Ukrainians. Like all the fucking foreign exchange students are fucking stuck there. You know, there are people in Russia, and by the way, American activists out there, I don't want to fucking ever hear about how hard it is to fucking protest in America, because unlike in Russia, in America, when you protest, you might go to jail, but you at least more than likely
you're probably not going to get. You might get out. Your odds are good. Your odds are good unless you run into a Kyle Rittenhouse or something.
Right.
You know, run into
Which-
like one idiot with a rifle can ruin your day, is all I'm
The
saying.
thing is Kyle Rittenhouse is not a representative of the fucking state.
No, no. And like, I found myself also like, the amount of like media attention he got in conservative media was just disgusting.
Of course it was disgusting.
Because I'm like, at the end of the day, it's sort of like, I've defended Walmart. Well, get back here. Get back here. Wait, what?
No,
That's
it's
your
even worse than-
That's your fucking contribution? You killed 2 people over a Walmart?
No, it's even worse than that.
You know,
it's like they're standing for the fucking Columbine shooters,
yeah.
and like they're like,
Yeah.
oh, these kids did exactly what they should have done. You know, they were afraid that their American rights are being taken away by these, you know, gay hippies. It's like, oh, what? Like, why are you so for this kid that shot people on purpose? I don't
Yeah.
fucking get that. I just
Yeah, war were not declared, you know? Like,
yeah, like not even just that, just like he shot people because they were protesting. Well, they may burn down stores. Nobody's in those stores.
yeah, they might have
Stuff.
done a lot of things, you know?
Yeah,
Like, they,
there's a real world chance that they could have fucking done
that guy could have just been crossing the street.
for getting his fucking chicken McNugget order.
Yeah, yeah, like, you don't fucking know. You know, like, that's what got me, where it's just sort of like, I would have thought that, like, in a sane world, the Rittenhouse thing would have kind of, like, you know, that kind of been swept under the media rug.
Right.
You know, no matter how it went down, people would be like, hey, whatever happened to that guy? You know, and they'd be all like, oh, did he go to jail? Oh, okay, yeah, he went to jail for 5 years.
Good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, like, jail for 5 years, probably a little light, but, you know, whatever.
Did he get anything out of it? Nope. He kind of died in
not really.
obscurity.
Yeah, which is what you're like, yeah, that's probably what he deserves.
It's what
You
should
know.
have fucking happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it'll happen.
Sorry.
It'll happen eventually. You're not gonna, like,
That's-
no one's gonna build a statue of that guy. You know, like, it's not gonna happen.
I hope not. If someone does, I cannot wait for fucking people to tear that shit down.
Oh
every
yeah,
day
that
it's
that
rebuilt.
that shit is not gonna last. Like, they're not gonna fucking build him up like Nathan Bedford Forrest or something. You know, like, they're just not gonna do that.
I hope not.
That requires actually doing shit. You know.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I mean, this little cocksucker's making NFT, so. And I mean cocksucker in the not fun way, like in the bad addict.
Wait, he's making NFTs?
Yes.
Okay.
Look, if you needed any other fucking any other fucking clue to tell you that cryptocurrency is fucking stupid and it's directly funding the alt-right, there.
Yeah, bam, baby. You know,
it's that. Like, it's never really like, there's a couple of leftists, but they're the idiots to get suckered in, you know, liberals.
yeah. Oh man, I saw that. I watched some of that Crypto Land. What the fuck is that?
I have no fucking clue, man.
I tried to understand what was going on with that thing, and I'm sitting here going, I can't even tell. There's so many levels of irony here. I can't tell at what point you're being serious.
Right.
You know?
It's like watching the Q Into the Storm documentary. Like,
Yeah.
I was watching that and I was like, there's no fucking way that this is just Gamergate 2.0. It cannot fucking
Oh,
be.
I knew it was. I knew it was from the outset.
Well, see, like, I was like, I don't even know where the fuck this started, so I kind of want to see where the origin of it is. And I found out it was 8chan versus 4chan board war, and I was like,
Yeah, exactly. You're like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And like the guy who even the fact
I'm a
that
bitch.
yeah, the guy who created 8chan. The funny thing is, you know, what was he? He was an angry incel. And when you look at the guy, you're like,
I'm sorry. Is there any other fucking version of
oh no,
incel besides
there,
angry?
no, there isn't. But when you saw this guy, like, you got it. He's a fucking midget with no torso. You know?
No. That fucking guy. That guy got laid. That guy got
Yeah,
fucked
but
all
that's
the
what
time.
happened. Like he developed 8chan, he got somebody, and he got laid, and then he was like, wait, what do I need 8chan for anymore? Like, my life has improved. You know? Like, I have stuff now. You know? And he was like, kind of, at that point, he wanted out. Because he's like, wait a minute, this is stupid. It's like, it's why, no, this is how, all right, No Nut November. All right, how does this relate? I'll tell you. Because it turns out, if you don't release semen every once in a while, particularly in like those prime years, it backs up your spinal column and makes it hard to think. You just you gotta like just blow a load every once in a while, or you can't think and form your own opinions anymore.
Why do you think me and Jack are so intelligent?
Yeah.
We haven't missed a day.
Oh no. I haven't missed. Oh, actually, I will admit. Over this Ukraine thing, there were a few days I missed.
But you made up.
Yeah. We're gonna be there's a plan. There's a plan for how to handle this. But you gotta let that happen. That's why they want No Nut November. They're like, oh man, we can keep this going if like we get everyone fucking spinal column like backed up with semen, and then we can just fucking ride the money train out to no man's land and do I don't know what with it, but because like I don't know how to say it other than this. When you're an incel because of your personality, you're the guy that really doesn't get laid. If you're an incel because you got like no torso or half a face, there's hope. There's fucking hope. Now, if you're like, I'm an incel because like I have no genitals. Okay. It's physically impossible. I get that. But still, that's probably still somebody's fetish, is what I'm saying. Being an annoying piece of shit is nobody's fetish.
It's true. It's 100% true. I hate to break it to the internet, but like, I know you think being an obnoxious prick to women or men or anybody.
Being an internet troll does not moisten the labia at all. It just doesn't. And
like, it may work for like a group of people, but it ain't gonna work for the people you want to attract. And also lower your goddamn standards.
I'll say, man, no, I'm gonna spit the truth. Spit the truth. Stop using your standards as an excuse. Stop using your standards as an excuse.
Like if you're a fucking 2 and you're like, I want to date anything that's lower than a 7. I hate to break it to you, you'll be real goddamn lonely.
Well, yeah, because you set up that standard to sabotage yourself.
Right.
Look, let's get good and sexist for a minute here.
Okay.
Does that attractiveness scale, does a 10 fuck better than a 2? No.
Well,
they might, but it's got nothing to do with that.
Right.
Nothing to do with that. Like how much sex you have, how good you are at it has nothing to do with how attractive you are. Absolutely fucking nothing. That is why so much fucking attempt is made to do these really weird, socially performative, sexual things like swinger parties.
You mean straight kink?
Yeah. A lot of straight kink is just there. Like if you find yourself in like a sex scene from American Psycho, like you're in a completely manufactured environment. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm saying it's completely fucking manufactured. No one's there to actually fuck.
And hey, if you're into that, like, I can't yuck your yum. It's weird. I'm not kink shaming. I am kink asking what the fuck. All right.
Well, having been both at real kink parties and not, like seen swinger parties. It's like there's a palpable difference.
Oh, 100%.
Like it's really hard to fucking describe because you have to see the reality of it. The fictionalization of it doesn't get it across.
I mean, I hate to break it to straight people, but y'all ain't kinky. You think you're kinky, but you're not kinky.
Ethnic,
be
but
kinky.
not too. It's like white people ethnicities. It's like, ooh, ethnic, but not too. Like that's
Too
it. That's
ethnic.
what it is. And the thing is that the thing that's so is ironic is this has everything to do with that white culture, that white habitus, as that one guy says. Because when you get into the actual kink community, you find that its racial split is pretty much exactly the general population.
Right.
That's it. The problem comes in when you look around, you're like, why is it only white people and the occasional exceptionally attractive ethnic person? Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. Something else is going on here. And you probably don't want to be a part of it. Like, I love that. I love that scene in American Psycho when he's fucking the chick and he's like giving himself a high five in the mirror, because I'm like, no, that's it. That's the difference right there.
Yeah. For him, the sex isn't about anyone else but him.
Yeah. It's not even about the orgasm.
Yeah.
It's just all about look
The
at
status.
me with the status and looking at me, I'm fucking a supermodel. It doesn't matter if the supermodel can fuck or not. She doesn't even have to like you, just as long as you are perceived as having something that everyone else wants.
Right.
And there's something really much more disgusting about that. Like, that's way more fucking objectifying than just being attracted to a girl with a huge ass. Like,
casual sex is fine. Ranked sex isn't that cool.
no. No, I don't like that concept, because I'm real simple. I'm the Cal Arts of fucking. There are three levels. 3 levels, and that's it. Because like in Cal Arts there are 3 grades and that's it. Not passing, passing, and high passing. That's it. That's it. You're either you're good enough, oh, you're really good, or try again.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Those are your grades.
You just need more experience.
You either need more experience or more talent or whatever. You're not there yet. And don't fucking think for a minute that non-passing grade doesn't fucking happen. It does.
Right.
Cal Arts is brutal. Cal Arts, they assign you to a master. Like, I don't know how else to put it. They assigned you, like, no. Like you're gonna get, like, an Obi-Wan Kenobi, like, type of guy. And if your shit ain't up to par, he's just gonna tell you. Because he doesn't have time for your shit.
Yeah, he knew Carl Jung for real.
Yeah, he knew Carl Jung for... Dude, like... Son, you can't tell me about animation. I worked on Fantasia. The original one. Like...
I spit on Walt's shoes, all right?
Yeah. Like, shit like that. Like, it's really hard to fucking argue with that level of authoritativeness, because the guys really can just do, draw and animate rings around you.
Right.
And if you're like, he's not so great, you're a moron.
It's like, he's not that great. Yeah, what are you doing?
What are you? Yeah,
right,
who the
not getting
fuck are
paid.
you? Yeah, exactly. Like, if you, because, like, I don't know if he, some, like, for some, often what happens is the guys who become, like, considered masters often come back and become, like, the masters who are instructing apprentices. Like, there's a real chance if you go to like Cal Arts that like you're gonna be placed under like Brad Bird, Tim Burton, you know, like or the guy from Leica, you know,
Right.
that's all possible. You know, and they do not fuck around. There was an illustration studio, a digital illustration studio here in the city. I think they've moved, called Massive Black. Massive Black was a studio. They were here in San Francisco for a while, and their whole thing was we do production and concept art for anyone willing to pay us. A lot of these
their
guys,
website, and it looks pretty good.
yeah. Look them up. A lot of them came out of LucasArts. A lot of the oldest ones came out of LucasArts. You know, back when that meant something.
Right. Well, when LucasArts was still a thing.
Yeah. Oh no, it's still a thing. It's just not. This is back, like before. You know, this is back before them prequels. Is what I'm talking about. You know, guys who worked on that shit before those prequels.
This is when LucasArts was still working with Henson and shit. You know?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, flat out. And they kind of perfected a style that was very popular for a bit.
Right.
And when you go to the website and you look at it, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You know, you'll be like, oh.
Yeah, you've seen it in every game ever.
Yeah. Basically, the video game industry made the heaviest use of them, although they also worked in movies and television.
Right.
The most real thing I heard one of them say, because they had their own program. I think they also own conceptart.com. I think that's their site. At least it was at one point. And that site used to be fucking tits. I don't know what it's like now. I haven't been there in ages.
It no longer exists, I do believe.
Oh, that's too bad. Anyway, how to put it? One of the Massive Black instructors, a bunch of the lesser students who were not performing, they weren't up to snuff in his opinion. You know, they were falling behind and massively behind. And they were like, well, what about us? And he just said, you're not good enough for me to teach yet.
Jesus.
I heard that and I was like, oh shit. I know exactly what he's talking about. And I mean, like, I felt that. I wasn't even one of the students and I felt that.
That's one of those rare times you can't fucking argue.
Oh no. And I'm like, oh shit, he's right. He is absolutely fucking right. The things that he is trying to teach people to do, these guys are not good enough to do yet. Right. Whoa. Like, damn. And that guy was amazing. He wasn't the nicest instructor, but he was like the head dude. He was the head instructor.
Like, there's a difference between being a dickhead and like also sucking as a teacher, and being a dickhead and actually really being able to.
No, he knew what he was. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing. He just demanded that from people.
Because we've all had that fucking that college professor, if you've been to college.
Oh yeah.
It's like incredibly cocky, but has like their class is terrible because they're so cocky.
Yeah. There was I shouldn't name names.
No, fuck it.
Okay.
It's been like what, 10, 12
It's been
years?
over 10 years. Okay, David Crosland. Great artist, terrible instructor. Like I never had him because I'm his age.
Right.
Like we were contemporaries, and he was the guy that nobody thought was gonna fucking get into the majors that did. You know, so like most of the artists.
Oh damn, his art.
Yes.
Shits.
No, he's amazing. He is amazing, but. I have fucking talked to a lot of the students that took his classes when he was an instructor. They hated him.
I can understand why.
Yeah, and it's one of those.
It's really hard to teach.
Exactly. It's what I think he stopped teaching because he realized he wasn't very good at it. It's like amazing artist, absolutely fucking amazing. Would hire him any day of the week. Really nice guy. not a good teacher.
Right.
You know?
He's good at his style. He can't you can't.
Oh yeah, you put him in a studio, give him instructions, tell him to go, you're gonna get genius.
Right.
You know, you're gonna
But-
get some amazing shit.
But the problem is, you're gonna get. He can't tell anybody else how to draw the way he does.
No,
that's the
he
thing.
can't. And I don't know. David Crosland.
Yeah.
He's a comic book artist. He's worked for everybody. He is incredible. He is an incredible artist.
His art is very like, you'll know when you see it because it's very like sharp. I guess
Yes.
that's the way I
Yeah,
look at
yeah,
it,
yeah.
Like see it. It is very like very pointed. Everything's got a very sharp edge on it. I mean, he did Invader Zim shit, so
Yeah, that's one of the things.
things.
Yeah, that's one of the things that he worked. Hold on, let me see if I can find artist. Hold on, bum. David Crosland, visual artist. Yeah. Da-da-da-da.
Father, I have a skill.
Hello. Hey, kitty. How are you? Man, the funny thing is you look up David Crosland and like you find like these weightlifters and shit.
Some big guys. You're like, that's
That's
him.
not him at all. You got to put artist on that. Yeah, let's see. Like, yeah, here's an example of his work.
Like, it's very Gonzo in a way.
Oh, it is. It is. Like the man definitely
I
loves Ralph Steadman.
I mean, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit saying that, but like you can definitely tell the inspiration of it.
Oh yeah, no, totally. Yeah, no, he's really good. He is great.
Right.
You know,
it's like I can tell where you draw your fucking influences from, but it's your own entire style.
exactly.
And that's the thing.
Exactly. Like, and
But
it works for a lot of.
Like that fucking mouse one is.
Yeah, this Danger Mouse one is great. You know, let me see if I can find some of his Spider-Man.
He had some really good fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in there too.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Those are all comics he worked on.
Right.
So the guy is no slouch whatsoever. You know, he's top notch. You know. Oh, okay. Here's one of his. That's one of his Spider-Mans. You know, so you'll probably, if you're a Spider-Man fan, you'll probably recognize his run on, like, I think it was Spectacular Spider-Man. I can't remember. There are like 3 Spider-Man comics at any one time. So, like, you know.
But yeah, that very like fluid while also being very bony, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm weird. I can't describe art. Like all I can.
Well,
do is
one
still,
of the
like,
things,
fluid.
well, it was one of the things that was really interesting about Crosland is that he combined the sort of Ralph Steadman style of illustration with graffiti.
Right.
You know, he saw the graffiti potential of Ralph Steadman's style and then went with that. And he kind of nailed it. You know, I have nothing but respect for him as an artist.
Right.
You know, he's better than me. I've been in studios with the guy. He's amazing.
Well, I mean, Jack, comparing yourself to that fucking guy, I love you, man.
Oh yeah, no, I know. It's like I was lucky enough to be in the room.
Right.
You know, I'm like, how did I get here? You know, like how am I in the room with this guy? This is not even comparable. You know, like
it's odd. It's a great art style and everything like that. And while I've seen some of your art, it looks really good. You're not on his level.
no, I am not on David Crosland's level whatsoever. I never was. There was never a point at which he wasn't just light years better than I was.
Right.
You know, like light years. You know, I
can love you, Fred, but like,
yeah. You know,
that's like comparing yourself to fucking Picasso at this point. Like,
or like trying to compare myself to like Anastasio. There's no
yeah.
no fucking way. What is your problem? Like the guy can fucking whip up a 3D model in a day. Like a fucking miniature, like fucking ready to print fucking put that on your gaming table tonight in like a day or two.
But I should be able to do that. No, you should not.
Know whatever
There's already
whatever.
someone there. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm. Yep, they already do it. You know,
Yeah.
like
you need to make your own thing. Like that's
Mhm.
always been my advice whenever someone's like, "Well, what do you? What were you? What's your advice to anyone that wants to do something creative?" And I'm like, "Make it your own fucking thing and stop trying to build off others."
Yeah. And if you're worried about,
If you're worried about stealing, guess what? We all do.
we all do. Yeah, first of all, we all do. Stealing, tracing, all that shit. It all happens. A lot of people say like, bad artists borrow, great artists steal. I have a bit of an addendum on that. Bad artists get caught. Great artists steal, bad artists get caught. You know?
All artists steal. Bad artists are blatant about it. Like,
Yeah.
like if you can draw Goku really well, cool. But that doesn't make you a good artist. Like, if you can draw Goku, but like in your own fucking style, that's the fucking tits. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Flashman's like, holy shit, that Atomic Robo looks great. Yeah.
Mhm.
I know. Oh, Milo Manara. Oh, okay. See, now when we're talking about Milo Manara and Luis Arroyo and those guys, that's the next highest peak. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, could I be as good? Could I theoretically have been as good as David Crosland? Maybe. Milo Manara or Luis Arroyo, that is a completely different matter. Like, those guys are masters. Fucking masters. You know, like, I don't even know if I have force powers. Those guys are Jedi Masters, son. You know?
Like Jack isn't sure if midichlorians are bullshit or not. These motherfuckers are like up there like dueling Darth Maul. Like,
Oh, yeah, totally.
Like,
Totally. Like, they survived Order 66. You know? Like, they survived Order 66. You know? They're like, fuck this noise.
they're like old barbarians.
Mm-hmm.
When someone is old in a fucking profession that leads to a lot of young men dying, fear them.
Oh, yeah. Because they were born for it.
Right.
They were born for it and conditioned themselves for it. You know, like, that is an extremely powerful combination. You know, when everything just works in that in that direction, like, oh my God, they're fantastic.
Right.
You know? Yeah, Luis Arroyo, I love Luis Arroyo. You know?
I have to agree with Talent Eccentric. Still better than Dennis Leary. Like, that's also important.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
definitely
don't just-
steal better than Dennis Leary, you know?
That motherfucker was like Bill Hicks light. And like, I hate when people are like, I love Dennis Leary. And then I pull on Bill Hicks. They're like, oh.
No, you like Bill Hicks. Yeah.
Like, I'm sitting like, "Ugh. What's wrong, John? You look like you're having a fucking heart palpitation. No, it's just the rage.
Oh, I'll tell you one thing though. I was really glad that Dennis Leary decided to go into dramatic acting, because then at least like he's doing something that's his. But as
And
far
he's actually
like,
pretty good at it.
yeah, he is actually very good at it. He's way better at it than he was at comedy. And if you remove all the Bill Hicks stuff, you know, but always remember, this is the problem. This is the problem with plagiarism. Because that was plagiarism. He stole an entire half of an album. You know,
100%. Like,
Yeah.
it's not even debatable.
yeah, it's not debatable at all. Like, get Cure for Cancer and then then listen to, was it Rant in E minor by Bill Hicks? You're like, wait a minute.
No, is it Relentless?
It's either
one of his big
Relentless or
ones.
Rent in E minor.
Yeah.
But you'll be like, well, wait a minute. What the fuck?
You
You know, it's the same shit, you know, and you're like, yeah. Yep. Junji Ito. Oh, no. No.
Again,
Pause.
that's like comparing yourself to God. Just don't.
At least Jesus, you know, like, yeah, you can't.
I think Ito's on God levels. Like,
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, he is kind of God mode, you know, like, Oh, damn. Like
You
whenever
get- you-
people like, are like, I don't like Junji Ito's style. And I'm like, then you do not like art, my friend. Then you do not like art.
it's
You know?
I'm also that way about when people talk about cubism or absurd art. They're like, or modern art. They're like, it doesn't make sense. I'm like, shut the fuck
Book
up.
up. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes here's the thing. Here's the thing. For me, it always comes down to what's the effect it's having.
Right.
If I don't understand what's going on, I actually do consider that the artist's fault.
Yes.
Because I'm supposed to know. I'm supposed to have a visceral reaction and understand on a gut level what we're doing here. And sometimes it really is just a, hey, look at this cool thing. Like, that's good enough. That's good enough to be art.
Right.
But there are some times when I see something and I'm like, fuck you. That's not art. That's lazy.
Hey, is this about your ex that you had like 3 weeks ago? Why? Oh, did you know that? Yeah, it's lame.
Yeah, it
Nobody else gets this.
sucks.
Yeah.
This is so much for you, the artist. I don't know why you bothered to share it.
Right.
Because it's not gonna affect anybody else. Like that is a big deal, and that's a big problem. In fact, that's one of your biggest problems. Because how to put it? Art schools are wrong all the time. Wrong, 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 wrong. Whoever wins your fucking spring show or the homecoming dance or whatever the fuck it's got is never the one that succeeds.
Teach him, Jack.
Yeah,
Teach
that's
him, Jack.
never the one that succeeds. The only art school where that person is the one that succeeds is called Cal Arts.
Because it's Cal Arts.
Because it's Cal Arts, and they do things incredibly differently. But yeah, I went to the Academy of Art. I can't even remember all the people who took home the gold. They disappeared.
They're making hotel art now. Like,
Probably that's maybe something. Maybe like it's nowhere I'm looking.
right.
Whereas like a lot of people who have gotten very far doing things that you knew, they flunked a lot of those courses, or they stopped. Like there's this one guy, I think he still works at Pixar, Carlos Baena.
I think you're
Yeah,
right
he's one of
on
their
that
like lead character designers. He dropped out.
Well, of course he fucking dropped out. He didn't need to fucking stay there. He's gonna work for Pixar.
Well, I mean, like before he got hired at Pixar,
But still, like,
but yeah. But how to put it? When you saw his reel, there was you knew there was a difference between him and everybody else.
it's like, why are you here?
Exactly.
You already have the skill. You just need to go out and do it.
Yeah. You got his reel. The question was not, do we hire this guy? The question is, do we have the money?
Right.
Do we have the money to get him to work for us? That's all we need to worry about. So like, yeah, it was really funny because he failed upwards. But it wasn't because of his work, but like every other step of his career looked like it was going to stall out. And that's when someone who knew better than the last guy picked him up. And then he landed in Pixar. I think he's been still there.
I hope so.
Yeah. But like I saw that guy's reel and it was one of those we're watching reel after reel after reel after reel. We put his in and we're like, whoa, damn. Like, no. Okay, so here was his reel, man. I'll just describe it to you.
It was up.
No, he wasn't that good at that point. Like up took years. That's years later. But yeah, he totally worked on up. I think he was the lead character designer lead character animator on Up, actually.
Then he's really good.
He's super good. No, the guy is super good. But like everyone else had like all these, stuff was going on, blah 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 blah. Nobody else did this. It was just an onion skin animation. Literally ink on tracing paper.
Right.
And it was just... Hi, Cat. And it was just Guy orders coffee. Guy orders coffee. 30 seconds. That's all that's on the reel. Along with his information. Put that one in, watched it, you're like, that's the guy. That's the motherfucking guy.
Yeah,
nobody else, we could throw all the others away.
Yeah, sorry it looks so bad. I was really rushed. I had to do a crunch it in today. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, get the fuck... No excuses, no lead up, no nothing. Were there flaws in it? Sure, but we couldn't see them.
Right. I imagine it's like sitting through like fucking film theory, and like everyone's got their like a really important, special to them film, and then like all of a sudden Cannibal the musical comes up.
Oh no, it was totally like that. It was
It's
totally like that. Like that one, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, look, another dinosaur one.
The sky is blue.
Yeah, and they're just like, wait, what a minute. Wait, hold on. What are we looking at here? A+, No, it really was. And that's the thing. It really is that stark. Talent and ability really is that stark. And it can be upsetting.
It can be frustrating.
It's super frustrating. It can be super frustrating because you're like, God damn it.
But at the same time, it's like, again, some people have to do nothing in order to be great, and some people have to work so fucking hard to do mediocre.
Oh yeah, yeah, totally. And the biggest problem is, here's some truths. What's your biggest problem? You are.
I would agree with that.
You're always your biggest problem.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
The biggest obstacle you have for yourself is yourself.
Yes.
You will always fucking... I could say this, working on Babylon and shit like that and streaming. Yeah. You are always going to be the one that thinks you suck. Always.
Oh yeah.
You have to tell yourself to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like you will always be the person that's like, well, I'm not that good. And you may not be, but you're never going to be as good as you allow yourself to be.
Dude, Anastasio to this day, fucking day, gets down on himself because he's like, man, I'm just not designing the way I used to. And then you look at the thing that he worked on like just last month. But my favorite example was the Diablo 3 trailer.
Right.
Like he's the one
amazing.
He's the one who did the design of Lilith. And created and he, it's like, all right, so she's got like these bat wings made out of blood and like all that shit. That was him. And like 2 weeks later, he's working on a monster and he's just like, it's just not coming together. I just don't feel like I have it anymore.
Look at what you created like fucking 3 weeks
ago. I know. You're just like, dude, you just finished that. Maybe you're just tired. Maybe you just need to sleep.
No, sleep's for people that deserve it. I don't deserve sleep. I'm going to choke you.
Yeah. Or you could also take the other one. Hey, it's okay. It's not like your house or your family or whether or not you eat has to do with whether or not you can come up with a good idea there. It'll be fine. Food pays for itself.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's one of those like being an artist is about being able to pull a rabbit out of the hat, and you're always afraid you're not going to be able to pull the rabbit out of the hat.
Strangely enough, that is the one fucking fear I always have when I start writing for Babylon. It's like, well, this is either going to be fucking terrible or it's going to be worse. Yay. Like, either it's going to be terrible or I'm never going to do anything with it.
Yeah. Oh, no. You've got to basically do the, whether or not this is going to, how to put, especially when you're working with like others, a lot of it has to basically be, this is what I did. This is where I've gotten it. Boom. This is where we're at. What do you think? You know, because like you don't want to do that. It's not good enough job for anybody else. You don't want to do that for someone. You know, like don't do it. You know, it's one of the most self-destructive things that you'll do as an artist. I had one instructor that did this, and I believe, and he has been right. It's really hard to convince everybody that he was as right as he was. Right. But it's this. He would say this. No matter what you got, you show it. Yeah. No matter what you got for this class, you show it. It's like, well, what do you mean? It's like, I don't care if you fucking bring in a napkin with a ketchup stain on it. As long as it's relevant to the project, you display it. You show it.
Right.
And people were like, what? Like, the first 2 weeks of that were really rocky. You know, but then everyone started to get it.
And the thing is you don't know what you're seeing. Someone else might be there to tell you where it is.
Exactly. Like, yeah, he's like, is it going to be good? Of course not. You know, you're not here because you're good. You know, you're not in a class because you already know how to do this.
Right.
You know, he's just like, no, just put everything up all the time. You know, he was also the guy who's really big on like sign all your work always, every time, every single fucking time. And people were like, why? And he's like, because every piece that you put up anywhere is going to be the one someone sees. And if they don't recognize their signature, they can't find you.
Right.
That's why when people are like, when people say don't repost, I'm like, wrong. You need to take the initiative as the creator to put your name on it.
And you notice the online artists that do really well?
They've all signed their shit. They all signed their shit. And that's just because people know to get in contact with them.
Yeah, I love you beautiful people out there that love to make art on the internet, and God bless you. Keep fucking doing it. But don't get your fucking panties in a wad when
it's not worth it.
Your shit. Yeah, when someone reposts
sign it and make sure that any post of that is free advertisement.
Right.
You know, because that's gonna be what fucking saves you.
Right.
You know, because if you've got something, let me put it this way, if you got something worth stealing, you got something worth selling.
I mean, in the most capitalist way, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if it's worth taking, it's definitely worth like showing.
Yeah. If it's worth stealing, it's worth it's worth money.
Nobody steals stuff that nobody wants. Like
yeah. Like there's so many, and here is here. If you're like, well, I don't know if that's true, I'm gonna tell you it is. Do you know why? Anime is now extremely popular in the United States.
Yeah, like mainstream popular.
Yeah, mainstream popular. How did this occur? It's because assholes like me dubbed videotapes that we got when we fucking went overseas.
Right.
You know, like, wait, how did we get this like weirdly translated copy of like the Street Fighter movie? Did someone like me went over there, saw it, bought it, brought it over to America, made a dubbed copy that would work on an American VHS, sold it to somebody, and then that guy made 1,000 copies of it?
I mean, yeah. I mean, look, I know everyone loves anime now, but I don't feel like the younger generations know exactly how difficult it was to get your fucking hands on it.
It used to be quite difficult. You know, like piracy was the only way you used to be able to get it.
A fucking like, okay, it's not the same, but it's parallel. Being a wrestling fan and trying
Yeah.
to find old Japanese wrestling tapes like FMW and shit like that, New Japan Pro. We didn't fucking sell or trade like actual fucking actual tapes. We sold fucking bootlegs to each other all the fucking time.
Oh yeah, totally.
Why? Because people would probably dub their own commentary on it, and it was Midland, or B, it's because that's the only thing we fucking had.
Yeah. Anime has been pretty popular in the United States. Mainstream hasn't that been going on for like 10 years? Oh yeah,
Yes.
it has. We're talking about even before that. We're talking about like the 80s and 90s.
90s and early 2000s as well.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
me.
By the late 90s, early 2000s, it had started to enter, like it had reached that like cult status where it was like if you knew where to go, you could get it. It was easy.
Let's put it this way: shonen anime was fucking popular everywhere.
Yes,
but not all anime.
Yeah. There were still some things that you had to like hunt and peck for. Like if you wanted that like 2000s Vampire Princess Mew, like you had to fucking get a pirated copy of it because they never translated it over here.
Right.
You know, simulcast was a thing of the future. You know, like
Trigun was hard to get back in the day.
Yeah. You had to, you had to go to the video store that actually sold, like, that sold that shit.
That had the adult section, like.
yeah. Like I lived in California, so it was a bit easier because there was this place we have called Japantown, and what do they have in Japantown? Japanese everything. Right. So if there was an English translation of a Japanese movie, that was going to be right up in the front of the store, and it was. You know, so I could just go in and be like, boop.
Fucking kung fu films back in the day, like.
Oh yeah.
Like you had to know a guy that knew a guy that knew a guy. And again, like with wrestling, like you couldn't. There's no possible.
Or you know, like getting Godzilla movies back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fucking
yes.
Do you know how many Godzilla films I had on VHSs that just had the fucking tape that said Godzilla versus like King Ghidorah?
Oh yeah, almost the entire Heisei era.
Yeah.
My copy of almost every Godzilla Heisei movie was a pirated copy because they didn't release that here for years. You know,
I'll be real honest with you. Most of the fucking Godzilla films I ever saw were pirated copies of MST3K.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That absolutely was.
It's the reason why I have running commentary for Godzilla films. It's because of shit like that.
Yeah. Well, okay. Here's the thing, Flashman. I would agree that Pokemon was one of the first anime to get mainstream success, and it is probably the one that got the most mainstream success. But let's not forget Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon and fucking Dragon Ball Z being
Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, and if you count Robotech. Either
Robotech or Gundam. I was more of a
yeah. One of those two. Yeah.
But I was also the weird kid that loved Rurouni Kenshi and fucking like Speed Racer and shit like that. So.
Oh yeah. That's right. I forgot Speed Racer.
Speed Racer was.
Yeah, I forgot Speed Racer.
Big in the South. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
It's NASCAR racing with like fucking outrageous.
Yeah. Countess is reminding me of Astro Boy.
Astro Boy. Well, here's the thing.
Astro Boy, in your flight into space, way up high in the sky.
Like, here's the thing. Astro Boy was one of the first ones to make it across to the West, but most people found out about Astro Boy after they found out about these other animes.
Yeah, a lot of people our age. Our age. Like, if you were around in like the 60s, then you might have run into Astro Boy first. You know, but like for some reason, Speed Racer is the one that really everyone remembered. Even though tons of people saw Astro Boy, but there was just This is something
Astro
about
Boy, Lupin the Third, and fucking like Speed Racer all occupy like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same
yeah.
like, block of time.
Here comes
Here
Speed
comes Speed
Racer.
Racer,
He's a
he's
demon on wheels.
Turn.
He's a demon and he's gonna be chasing after someone. He's getting on you, so you better look alive. He's busy revving up the powerful Mach 5. And when the odds are against him and there's dangerous work to do, you bet your life Speed Racer's gonna see you through.
Fucking. Oh, God, I guess now that we're talking about entertainment.
Yeah.
I watched that Studio 666, Jack.
How is it?
Gooder.
Okay, all right. That's all I need it to be. That's what I
It's-
need it to be.
Dave Grohl is the best actor of the Foo Fighters, and that's not saying much.
Oh, okay. So, like, is this a movie? Like, all right, will a Foo Fighters fan enjoy this movie?
Yes, obnoxiously so.
Okay, all right. Better than what can be said about the Lordy movie.
Yes.
Good. That's
It's on the
very
same
good.
level. For me, it's on the same level as Pick of Destiny, where either you loved it or you. Were
I fucking
wrong.
loved Pick of Destiny. Love Pick of Destiny.
Like it's got that same energy where it's like, you're like, there's a lot of love that's in this, but not. Let's say this movie ain't made for everyone.
Okay, all right. So, like,
it's-
what level of gooder are we talking about here?
If you'd have told me this is a trauma film, I'd have believed you.
Oh. Okay.
You know how trauma films always had like that weird like product placement where it was like over
Cup
the
of
top?
noodles.
A really good drinking game to play with Studio 666 is spot the Doritos bag.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there were so many
Oh,
fucking
shit.
Doritos bags with the logo out. that were in this film, I was like, I see Doritos paid for this film.
All right. So what level of trauma film are we talking about here? I'm assuming we're not talking Citizen Toxie.
No, it's
You know, are we at least at Sergeant Kabuki Man levels?
kind of. It's I would
Okay.
say it's more like Terra Firma,
Ooh, that's high praise in my world.
as it is for mine. As in like there is a plot going on, and it's easy to follow, but really the kills are what makes everything really good.
Oh, excellent. All right. So
Like-
this is basically this is like a really good splatter movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
okay, good.
That's the perfect way to describe it. It's a really good splatter film. But there are some like gems in this movie that I don't want to ruin for you. One of my favorite kills is the chainsaw kill. This is a bit of a spoiler, so if you don't want to hear it, let me know.
No, don't tell me. That's
Okay.
I'm gonna watch this movie.
You will. There will be a
Look,
moment.
you've already told me chainsaw kill. Look out for it. You know.
Like there's a moment in the movie where Jackula's the lumberjack comes on. Have you ever heard of that song?
Yeah.
You know how they have the chainsaw solo in it?
Oh. Okay. All right. Say no more. Keep it up. You know.
But
Oh, see. Okay. Now, Poltergeist, that's reaching
It's-
for the heavens, man.
yeah, well, here's
You
the
know,
thing.
like
It's-
that.
It's got a little bit better production value than Poltergeist.
Well, then
does.
Poltergeist. Okay. Well, I mean, that's not hard, but it is. But Poltergeist is kind of sublime. You know, that transcends somehow.
And also like there's if you do
Yeah,
if
the
you're not
only
a
reason
big-
the only reason it wasn't on my top 10 gooder videos is that it didn't exist at that point.
right and I will say this, if you're a big fan of the Foo Fighters, like all of them, you'll love this film. If you're not, you will fall in love with certain parts of that fucking band. Like Pete Smear is now my favorite human being on the planet. Like, he has the most adorable fucking scenes. Like there's one scene, it doesn't ruin anything, but there's one scene where they're staying in the recording house, and like the realtor walks in, she sees like Pete on the kitchen counter. He's like, "Why are you sleeping in here?" He's like, "Well, there's no other beds, and this place is the most comfy. Plus, it's close to all the snacks."
Oh man.
it's and he does it like while wearing like a fucking nightshirt and a little nightcap. So it's like,
Oh
aw.
my god. Oh, by the way.
Yes, Peacemaker episode quality. I would say that much.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There's definite moments there where like I'm sitting there like, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. There
Yeah.
we go. Excellent. Good. That's exactly what I wanted out of that movie.
But
You know, but
the thing that I will remember about that movie is the previews they had. They had this preview for a movie. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's an A24 film called X.
X. Yes, I've seen the trailers for X. I want to see that.
Oh, we saw the Red Band trailer for it. Oh, let me tell you something. X is one of those movies that
You're making it sound like once in a generation. You know,
no,
like-
it's one of those movies where it's like, I can't believe that you're getting away with this. Like, because the trailer is so good. It doesn't tell you anything about it, which I love.
Nice. Oh, something I watched that you've been on my ass for, and I finally did it.
Okay,
I
what'd you
finally
watch?
watched Vox Machina. Watched all of it.
What did you think, bud?
I really liked it. I thought it was really good.
It's definitely like, it's one of those shows. It's like if
It
no
didn't
one
have the
told you-
booby scene, although it had boobs in it.
right?
You know,
Not
it-
yet.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff in Vox Machina that, as a D&D fan, you absolutely fall in love with. As a Critical Role fan, like I am,
Yeah.
absolutely obsessed about. But
Well,
if
like,
you
I
didn't-
love how they're like, it's the whispered one. It's the whisper. And before you go in, you're like, this is fucking Vecna, isn't it?
Yes. But unfortunately, because they're not official D&D, they can't use Vecna's
They
name.
use Tiamat.
I know.
Like, they used Tiamat, and I was like, wait, are you serious? That's like flat out the symbol of Tiamat hanging out there as like a big reveal.
Well,
You know?
actually, not to spoil anything, that's not Tiamat.
What?
Okay.
Did they make up a Tiamat for the show?
Okay, if you don't want spoilers for like Legend of Vox Machina or anything involving Critical Role Campaign 1, I would suggest to mute right now, because like this is way too.
All right,
fucking good.
I'll wave my hands when you can
Yeah.
come back. Okay.
All right.
All right, here we
So,
go.
That is not Tiamat. That is the Chroma Conclave, a group of like 6 dragons that
Okay.
are like chromatic dragons that tear up the entire world of like the entire continent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. like,
Okay. All right.
you remember how like at the end of the last episode you see the
Yeah.
dragons
A bunch of
flying in?
dragons are just like rolling up. That's them. Okay.
And they're like, and I will, to spoil it a little bit, I'll tell you how that scene is probably going to end. Everyone that's royal will die.
Yeah.
They're gonna
sounds
tear
about
down
right.
castles. Like it's so fucking good. And the fact that they're kind of like planting the seeds for all the other relationships in the later side quest makes me happy. But the Chroma Conclave is fucking. Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Okay. All right. I'm gonna wave my hands now.
Yeah.
All right. It's all right. Spoilers are over. Okay, so one of the things that like I really liked about Vox Machina in that first episode is it's a blue dragon.
Yeah.
And it doesn't there's no fucking around. Like
And
a
that's
dragon does not fuck around.
And that's just an adult dragon, by the way.
Yeah, that's not even like a giant ancient one.
right.
You know, that's not an ancient worm. That's just like full grown and a little bit more.
Right.
You know, but it was just sort of like, so what's a dragon do? Dude, it did everything a D&D dragon tends to do when your game master is a motherfucker. You know, which is the dragon grabs you, flies 300 feet in the air, and then just drops you.
Yeah, people hate when I bring dragons into a D&D game, because it's like if you're fighting an open air, you're probably gonna lose.
Yeah, what are the power of the balls of Vecna?
It's like the head of Vecna. Like,
Yeah, you gotta chop off your own balls in order to put them on. I don't know what powers they would give you, but you might not want to know. You know, they probably, it's not going to work out well for you. You know, like that's the thing about the body parts of Vecna. When you put them on, it's like, oh, this seems good, but the more you put on, the worse it gets.
it's like you got the hand of Vecna, the eye of Vecna,
Eye of
fucking
Vecna,
the
yeah,
left toe of Vecna.
the head of Vecna. That was my favorite joke item. You know, it's sort of like, it's the head of Vecna. If I cut my own head off and put it on, I'll get superpowers. Oh, he's just dead. You know, maybe
Well,
you
hold
did
on,
it wrong.
Hold on, let me do it this time, and then I'll heal it.
Heal it. Yeah. No. Head of Vecna, no such thing. You know? Do they have the deck of many things? It hasn't appeared in the show.
No.
Not in the cartoon. It's appeared in Critical Role, but hasn't appeared in the show.
No. It may appear at some point. I mean, fuck, we just got the big bad sword that Grog gets. I'm not gonna say what it is, but
was it? It's a Bloodthirster.
no, Craven's Edge.
Craven's Edge. Oh, okay, got it.
It's nasty little fucking homebrewed magical item.
Yeah. I thought it was really funny that like they worked in the Artificer class into that.
Are you talking about Percival?
Talking about Percival, yeah.
Percival's not Artificer.
Really?
Percival is a fighter who they made a homebrew for Gunslinger, and I think he took a couple of levels in Warlock so he could use Hex and shit, and to explain, you know,
right, some of his crap, you know, like
Yeah.
okay, all right,
yeah. But that character, like the character arc in that first season is so fucking good, and I love the fact that they started with that.
yeah.
Like, I make no bones about it. Taliesin Jaffe is one of my favorite fucking human beings on the planet. And the reason why is because of that fucking story. I was like,
It was good. It was pretty good, you know.
Yeah, and like, and the thing is I've been telling people that have been watching at my house, like, you gotta understand, those 12 episodes, that's probably about 60 episodes of D&D.
D&D games, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
2 or 3 hour sessions. You
If
know?
you're lucky.
Yeah.
Like, some of them are 4 to 5 to 6 hour sessions.
Yeah. Oh man. I loved so much of the stuff that they did.
But,
Like I like the fact that you could like pick out the spells that are happening.
Right.
You know?
As a D&D fan, you're watching this and you're like, oh, this is what they're doing.
Yeah. Like that's oh god, what is it? That's Thorn Barrier. You know, what's that? That's Radiant. That's Mass Bless. You know, that's Radiant Weapon. You know.
Yeah. That's Guiding Bolt. Like
Guiding Bolt. Yeah.
But at the same time, like, you don't have to know jack shit about D&D in order to enjoy it. But I will say this, and I think Jack can back me up on this.
Mm-hmm.
The dumb shit they get into is 100% what D&D is really about.
Oh yes, yeah, absolutely. My favorite. Oh man, my favorite. Here's my favorite. Like, one of my favorite bits, which is they don't call it this because that gets a little weird.
Right.
But the bard essentially has Bigby's hand.
Yes.
You know, he essentially has Bigby's hand. That's his major spell. And it works like Bigby's hand. You know?
I mean, technically, yes, it is Bigby's hand.
Yeah, but they call it
on,
Scanlan's hand.
Yeah, later on they call it Scanlan's hand.
Yeah. But you're like, no, it's Bigby's hand. We know what that is.
Like he would be like, Bigby's hand. But yeah, no. If you're a fan of D&D, if you're a fan of Critical Role, if you're just a fan of animation, I highly suggest you go watch this because
this is the most D&D thing ever
that works.
Yeah, like like everyone, because what's the thing about D&D? Everyone's just kind of this jackass, right? You know, everyone.
It's like I'm running a Feywild game, and I'm running that Wild Beyond the Witchlight, and I've realized I'm like, you know, I can't make my party be a pacifist because they just don't want to be.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'll read a certain section from the book, and it has like
Thank you, Wesley Vaughn.
it has one of the one of the hags in it, and I'm reading through the entire thing, and I'm like, oh, kidnapped kids,
Yeah.
forcing them into labor. Well, this isn't going to end with anything besides bloodshed.
Yeah. You know, and I like how it's like one of my favorite running jokes in Vox Machina, the show, really is the like motherfucking doors. You know?
And like, I don't know what it is about this fucking group, but they still suck with doors.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's like motherfucking doors. Well, it's like because every D&D group does, because it's like a random roll that the rogue makes. You know, it's sort of like, all right, rogue failed. Now what? Why don't we have the barbarian smack it?
Yeah, can we
and just
break the
hope there's
door?
not a fucking trap. Yeah.
Listen, let the barbarian smack it, and we'll be 30 feet back. Okay.
If you want to get into the show, where should I start? Oh, well, if you want to watch the cartoon, yeah, just go to Amazon Prime, Vox Machina.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if you want to watch Critical Role, just watch anywhere. Because, like, how many episodes that motherfucker got?
Well, let's just talk about the first campaign. The first campaign is 114 episodes, not counting the amount of one shots and live games that they have done at certain at cons and shit like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but like if you're intimidated by that, you can try campaign 2. Campaign 2 is like 165 episodes, not including one shots. It's like
it's a long going D&D game. It gets like that, you know.
Well, here's the
doors
thing.
like build engine doors. Oh
no,
Joseph, you have not played D&D, have you? If you play D&D, you very quickly become acquainted with the fact that doors are your greatest enemy. You know.
oh, hey, aspiring dungeon masters, you want something to really fuck with players? Whenever someone opens a door, ask what the marching order is.
Yeah.
And how they open
What's the marching order when you go through this door?
What do you mean? It's like, well, you're the one unlocking it.
So who's going through first?
Yeah. And then like when they do like all the fucking like as as safely as they can enter the door without setting anything off, just go, yeah, there's nothing there.
Yeah. Yeah, that it throws them off, because at some point they're going to be like, fuck it, we're just opening the door. And that's when the giant spider drops. You know?
Right? Like, it's like being a DM is all about bullying your players because they bully you too. Am I wrong?
No.
Am I wrong, Chad?
No, however, I'm always like, no. This is how I work. Which is basically, I will make up all kinds of shit on the fly to keep the story, to keep the scene and the story going. The one thing I never want to fucking do, I try never to fucking do this, is take the victory away.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know,
like,
don't take the victory away.
If you've outsmarted me as a DM, or you like gamed the system, I will be sad.
Unless it's super dick cheese.
Well, it's like, okay, case in fucking point. I had this like entire encounter built, which is basically like one large game of tag in one of my games. And I was like, I planned it. I planned the entire thing. I planned all like the roles and stuff they'd have to do in order to catch this character. Within the first 5 minutes, one of my characters like, I cast hold person on them. And I was like, okay, well, what's the role? It's like 15. It's a 15 dex. Well, he's a very dexterous character, and that's a 2. Fine.
Yeah.
Fine. You hold this person, and all the fun shit you were gonna do, you don't do anymore.
More. Yeah.
And the person's like, I'm so sorry. I was like, don't be sorry. That's D&D.
That just happens.
Yeah.
You know.
It's I mean, how many times have we planned great evil guy like monologues, fucking great evil guy like plans for how they're gonna fuck with the party, and as soon as the PCs get involved, all those plans go to shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm curious how many times that happened when we did our playtest of fucking Babylon, our live playtest of
Oh,
it.
well, see, okay. Here's the thing about that. The only time that you clearly got the upper hand on something. Like where it was so stupid, I had to actually make the monster harder to make it worth it.
Right.
Was in that really early test play where you fought the Child Flayer.
Right.
Because it turns out, like, all the damage it did to you, it legitimately did. But it apparently had, like, no hit point. But it had, like, no hit points. And compared to what was being dished out. So I was like, all right, so let's just double this number a little bit, because I'll make it last another 2 rounds, which feels about right,
I mean, look, I love our game of Babylon, but if you want to play the most efficient fucking fighter class, get ghoul or fucking werewolf. They're just made.
Oh
for
yeah,
it.
no, they're just monstrous. I just, and I'm sort of like, I don't really want, and the thing is, I found myself going, I don't want to take that away.
It's really
like I
fucking
don't
cool.
want to take that away. It's like, because if you're a werewolf, you should feel like, oh, I have fucking torn this thing apart with my bare hands. Fuck you.
Right.
that's just awesome. Like if everyone could do that, wouldn't be as cool.
Right, but like when you make this decision to play a werewolf or a ghoul in Babylon, it's kind of what you're selling.
Yeah. If you're playing a ghoul, you're really strong and kind of gross.
Right.
If you're a werewolf, you're really fucking strong and you're wolf-like. Like it's the whole point of playing the character. It's like
Right.
the vampire is not as physically strong as the werewolf or the ghoul, because you're probably gonna be doing other things. They're not pussies either.
Right. But vampires are much more the like in Babylon. They're kind of like they're. It was like the Nosferatu clan was actually taken serious.
Yeah. The idea is that they're very bat-like, and instead of like they can change their appearance when they're dealing with people, but like your friends always know that you're like this weird like half bat hybrid thing. Everyone's like, yeah, it's a vampire. He's a vampire. Oh, they look so great. Oh, would you say that if you wouldn't say that if you could see him the way I see it? And then like the freaky werewolf chick then goes like, oh, that's a matter of opinion, baby. That's a matter of opinion.
Listen, bitch, some of us are monster fuckers. But Danny Snorting God was the
Danny's snorting the ashes of the Almighty, and accidentally uncovering one of the big secrets of the setting.
which I was like, I mean, it makes total sense for this character. This character is the eternal fuck up, but at the same time, I have to play this character. It's like, when that happened, I was like, wait, seriously? Wait, no, that's not really what's happening right now. If you want to see that, I think Jack has like the replays on his channel.
Yeah, the replays should be up on the channel. If they're not, then they'll be up by the end of the week.
Right.
Because I think I have like one episode. I realized I hadn't put a couple episodes up, and so like I was going to do that this week. Are there any game-ending monsters in D&D? Not if you do it right. Now, if not if you do it right, but here's the thing. Here is the ultimate tool in your game master's, book. In your dungeon master's guide, there is one rule: you don't want to use it very often, but it is a tool available to you. That didn't happen.
Whatever that was,
whatever it was, we're retconning it right now, because that is not what was supposed to go down. like I said, you don't want to pull that trick too often. You want to pull that trick off when the players are like, that sucked. Like when they're actually like, oh my god, that bit. Like that was just not fun. That's when you want to go back and be like, Let's just
Hold on
pretend
one
that didn't
second.
happen. Hold on one second. That didn't happen. Okay, third edition. There was a game stopper. There was a game stopper monster in third edition called the Blackstone Gigant.
Yeah.
It was a CR16 creature, but it was, I don't know how to say this, it was fully a CR16 creature. You know how sometimes like a CR creature is actually like a little bit lower than it probably should be, or maybe a little bit higher, and so it's sometimes hard to gauge.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, the Blackstone Gigant, fucking believe it. It is a spell-resistant monster that has 4 attacks and tramples. Now, if you don't know what that means, first of all, it gets 4 attacks. That's a lot. Now, it has a rule that it can only use so many attacks against any one character. That ends up not mattering. Because it's got, challenge rating. Challenge rating 16. The Blackstone Gigant is essentially a 6-armed golem. Okay? Let me see. Let me see if I can find a fucking picture of this fucking thing. Blackstone Gigant. Yeah. Now this is 3rd edition, by the way. This is a 3rd edition monster. Okay. All right. Found a picture, dang thing.
Is it the weird like 8-arm thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. This 8-armed. All right. That is actually a living statue.
Yeah.
It casts spells. It has 4 attacks around, and it does trample damage. Now, trample damage means it is big enough that if it moves into your space,
you get hit.
You automatically get hit. You automatically just take you have to make a saving throw or take a huge amount of damage. And like its trample damage was ridiculous. It was like 4d6. And that's just from having it move into your square. That's before it does anything else.
Right.
So, the monk, because it's always the monk.
The 3rd edition monks just should go to hell.
Here's the thing. 3rd edition monks were so fucking overpowered, except in very specific circumstances.
Right.
This creature was one of them. So he goes up. Oh no, that was the beholder. That was bad luck. That was the other time. You know, because, hey, as I like to say, having to make 4 saving throws every round is still having to make... That's 4 times you might roll a 1.
Right.
You know, like...
You can
yikes.
still fuck that up.
Oh, you can still fuck that up majorly. So, funny enough, it was the same player.
Of course.
So, he goes up against this thing. And I'm like, all right. It moves forward and attacks you 4 times. He was pasted. Pasted. Before he got his second action. Just completely fucking pasted. And I was
These
like,
things hurt. Like,
whoa,
whoops.
really? You know, that was me as a game master going, really? Oh my god, these were like level 14 characters.
Yeah, I may have overcorrected.
Yeah, may have overcorrected slightly. And yeah, that one I had to retcon because I'm like, all right, I can't just... This is a TPK situation.
Right.
And if if that happens, it's just gonna suck. Now, that story comes with a bit of player advice.
Mm-hmm. What's that player advice?
Let the game master see you sweat.
Yes.
Otherwise, he's gonna pull some shit out because he's mad at you.
Yep.
Which is how this scenario happened.
It's like like occasionally the dungeon master does kind of want to challenge you with something.
Mm-hmm.
If you deny them the challenge, it's gonna be really,
Yeah, you can
really
be. You could. That's one of the things that makes Critical Role so great. No player is too cool.
right. Like
You know, the
that's
character might not react, but the player will.
right.
You know, like even Taliesin Jaffe is like, oh shit. Like Percy never goes, oh shit, but Taliesin Jaffe does.
Well, everyone's real fucking confident until the Astral Dreadnought enters the fucking fight.
Oh my god. Oh my god, did they actually fight an Astral Dreadnought?
No, they don't.
Okay. I'm like, Jesus, I don't think I've ever used that one.
Oh, you want to talk about the nuclear option?
Oh no.
Like,
No, I
that's the
know.
click.
Yeah.
Like-
The astral juggernaut. I believe it is the largest creature in D&D, just the biggest.
Oh, it's bigger than the fucking Tarask by
Mm-hmm.
bleeps and bounds. These are
Yeah.
things that hunt in space. They eat planets and shit.
Yeah. They were created. I think they were created for Spelljammer.
Yes.
You know, and you're supposed to attack them with ships.
Right.
You know, like. Oh, Astral Dreadnought. And the thing is, I guarantee you've all seen the picture of it. You just didn't know what it was.
Yeah. No, it's like it is a gate. Like this is one of those things where it's like you spend the entire campaign threatening your players with this encounter.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I've
there it
done
is.
that
That's
shit.
the Astral Dreadnought. Now, here's the thing. There's a human in this. So, what you got to understand about this is that human is in the super foreground just so that they could put a picture of a person near this goddamn thing.
Yeah.
You know, its real size is stupid. I believe its miniature is like 4x4 squares.
I can tell you that it is considered gargantuan.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what, Jack? I'm going to send you a much better link to show the chat.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to do it through Zoom. That one right there is the most realistic fucking Astral Dreadnought. Like as far as size goes.
Yeah, there you go. Hold on. Oh shit. Gotta looking at the wrong one. No, there. Oh no, it's right. It's right. Hold on. Transform. Reset transfer. Yeah, there you go.
Like, look at that bad boy. You're in that boat. Traveling through.
Yeah, you're in that
space
boat
and
traveling
time.
through space and time. This motherfucker rolls up on you. You know? Yeah, don't. Now, the Tarask is. Don't get me wrong. The Tarask is no joke.
Taraska's history, all right? Like it's a beautiful part of D&D history.
Yeah. Like, people are like, can the Tarask fly? The answer is, does it need to?
Yeah, it doesn't. Does Godzilla fly?
It does. Yeah, does not need to. Shut the fuck up. You know, don't give the game master any ideas. But like, that's why there's that cartoon of a Tarask being lifted up by balloons with the caption "Unstoppable." You know, like flying is the one thing it can't do. It's like a T-Rex and its little arms.
It's
it's
D&D's Godzilla.
It is.
Like
It is.
100%. Like it is a city destroyer. The Tarask.
Yeah. The Tarask eats dragons. We'll put it that way.
But the thing is, you can take a Tarask. Like you got a shot.
Oh yeah, you've got. Well, I mean, if it has hit points, you can kill it, right?
oh, how hubris of a statement that is. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, but it's not usually something you kill because there is literally a rule where if you kill it, it's reborn somewhere.
Yeah. One of the only ways to get rid of it is to.
You have to knock it down to 0 hit points and then use a wish spell.
Yeah, like you have to wish it away.
Yeah. Now, if you want to know, like, well, what does a wish spell entails? It's like, well, first be 18th level. Now, that's only if you want to cast wish once.
Right.
Okay.
Because Witch is like a 9th level spell, I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It is a 9th level spell.
So, like at most, you'll have 2 spell slots.
Yeah. I really honestly think that they ought to rename wish to the spell. What does the thing that no other spell does?
I feel like
know?
Wish is a lot shorter for that.
Wish is shorter. Wish is shorter, but like,
Wish is like it's one of those things like the fucking deck of many things and fucking the hand and eyes of Vecna. It's really cool to add to your games, but don't expect it to last more than 2 or 3 sessions afterwards.
oh yeah. Wish is the mightiest spell a mortal creature can cast. You can create one of the following effects. You can create one object up to 25,000 GP in value that is not a magic item. The object can be no more than 300 feet in any dimension. It appears in an unoccupied space you can see on the ground. 2. You allow up to 20 creatures that you can see to regain all hit points as if fucking affected by a greater restoration spell. 3. You grant up to 10 creatures that you can see resistance to a type of damage that you choose. 4. Grant up to 10 creatures you can see immunity to a single spell or other effect for 8 hours. 5. Undo a single recent event by forcing a reroll of any roll made within the last round, including your last turn. Reality reshapes itself to accommodate the new result. The stress of casting the spell to produce any effect other than duplicating another spell weakens you. After enduring that stress, each time you cast a spell until you finish a long rest, you take 1d10 necrotic damage per level of the spell.
Now, that's what Wish is rules as written.
Yes.
But the cooler way to do it, the much more wild way to do it is just to tell your players wish for what you want.
Yeah. Now the thing is, why does that spell still exist? Because if you do something like that, you have handed the game master the greatest tool in all of existence. Because basically, you casting wish like that is basically, and now the game master gets to do what they want.
Exactly.
It is a monkey's paw, my friend. It is a monkey's fucking paw. Much like the deck of many things.
The deck of many things is just kill your campaign quickly. Like, that's what that is for.
Yeah, just ruin your campaign. Ooh, I got a sword. Oh, actually, isn't that how Grog got the sword in the original?
No,
isn't?
he got it. No, he got it from the person.
From that villain.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, he got it from that person. No, funny enough, Grog didn't really get much good from the deck of many things.
Yeah, he got like a really powerful magic item that was like equivalent to one he already had, I think.
Yeah, I think because like the bad shit he got literally like threw his soul into hell. yeah, he got that.
Yeah, he got that one. He got that result. Oh God, everyone at the table when they were like, "Oh, I pulled out a card." No! Oh my God, it's over. It's all fucking over.
I got the tower.
Oh, son of a bitch. It's like, well, like the first thing he gets is a magical weapon. He's like, "Is that what the deck does?" And like immediately, like Taliesin Jaffe's like, "No, that is not what that thing does." That is a potential effect of it. Oh, what are the others? Oh, I don't know. Ending the world.
Oh, you could seriously fuck your entire game up with the deck of many things.
Oh,
Wish
yeah.
isn't nearly that bad.
Oh yeah,
Wish can only fuck up things for probably one person. Maybe 2.
Deck of many things. Like, yeah, I had that used in the game once, and they got the void.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one that like summons like a fucking orb of annihilation or some bullshit?
Yes.
Like that?
Yes. So you're like, what's An orb of annihilation. Glad you asked.
So I know what you may be thinking. There's no nuclear option in D&D, right? Wrong.
Wrong. Sphere of annihilation. 2-foot diameter black sphere is a hole in the multiverse hovering in space and stabilized by a magical field. The sphere obliterates all matter it passes through and all matter that passes through it. Artifacts are the exception. Unless an artifact is susceptible to damage from a sphere of annihilation, it passes through the sphere unscathed. Anything else that touches the sphere but isn't wholly engulfed and obliterated takes 4d10 force damage. The sphere is stationary until someone controls it. If you're within 60 feet of an uncontrolled sphere, you can use an action to make a DC 25 Intelligence Arcana check. On a success, the sphere levitates in one direction of your choice, up to a number of feet equal to 5 times your intelligence modifier. On a failure, the sphere moves 10 feet towards you. A creature whose space the sphere enters must succeed on a DC 13 Dex save or be touched by it, taking 4d10 damage. Now that's just when it moves.
Yeah, that's a lot.
If the sphere comes in contact with a planar portal, because there is a rule for this, such as a portable hole, you roll 1 die 100. 1 to 50, the sphere is destroyed. 50 to 85, the sphere moves through the portal or into the extra dimensional space. 86 to 100, a spatial rift sends each character and object within 180 feet of the sphere, including the sphere itself, to a random plane of existence.
Quantum Leap, the home game.
Yeah. Now, you may also be like, wow, how do you stop that thing? Here's the best part. You don't.
You don't.
You don't. It's just wherever it is now.
That's where you are as well.
That's it. There's just a black hole there, and you're like, what do we do about this? Nothing. Leave it alone. It's your best option.
Well, I had the Staff of the Magi here, so...
At least that's an artifact. That at least won't get sucked into it.
Oh, but let's say you break it.
Oh, break the Staff of the Magi, or
yeah, no, break the Staff of the Magi.
Ooh.
Oh
yeah,
man,
that's not good. That's not good. That's not good
there
at all.
There are certain items in D&D that are there, but like nobody really should use them. Staff of the Magi, Deck of Many Things are 2 of them. I actually like using the Hand and Eye of Vecna and stuff because I think that's just really fucking cool.
Oh yeah.
And it's not that bad.
It's a lot of fun.
It's not that bad. I mean, what's the worst that happens? Your fucking cleric or whatever becomes an evil vampire. Oh no.
Yeah. Oh god, what was that staff? I actually had. What's the name of that really like badass druid staff?
Like the only staff that I remember from D&D is Staff of the Magi as being like one of the bad ones.
Staff of the Magi. No, this wasn't one of the bad ones. This is one of the ones you wanted to get.
Oh, you wanted to get this thing, but it like had an option in it. Let's put it that way.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There's a slightly lesser staff that was intended for druids that was like super fucking powerful.
Because the thing with the Staff of the Magi is like, if it still has spells in it and you break it, all those spells get out. And this thing has a shit ton of spells in it. Like it's got Conjure Elemental 7 charges, Dispelled Magic 3 charges, Fireball 7 charges.
Yeah, I believe when you pick it up, you have to roll for its properties. Yeah, let's see. Staff of the Magi. Requires attunement by a sorcerer, warlock, or wizard. This staff can be wielded as a magic quarterstaff, +2 attack bonus. While you hold it, you gain +2 bonus to spell attack rolls as well. Staff has 50 charges for the following properties. It regains 4d6 +2 expended charges daily at dawn. If you expend the last charge, roll 1d20. Let's see, on a 20, if you roll a 20, the staff regains 1d12 charges.
Right.
Spell absorption. While holding the staff, you have advantage on saving throws against spells. You can use your reaction when another creature casts a spell that targets only you. If you do, the staff absorbs the magic of the spell. canceling its effect and gaining a number of charges equal to the spell's level. However, if doing so brings the staff's total charges above 50, the staff explodes as if you had activated its retributive strike below. All right, retributive strike. You can use an action to break the staff over your knee or against a solid surface, performing a retributive strike. The staff is destroyed and releases its remaining magic in an explosion that expands to fill a 30-foot radius sphere centered on it. You have a 50% chance to instantly travel to a random plane of existence, avoiding the explosion. If you fail to avoid the effect, you take force damage equal to 16 times the number of charges in the staff. So that is by the way, just letting you know that if you overcharge this thing, what that means. So 16 times 51, that is a minimum, that is a maximum of fucking 861 points of damage.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And it's in a localized area, too.
Yeah,
Like,
that kind of damage could kill an astral dreadnought.
yeah.
That kind of damage could do it, you know?
Yeah.
But
It's like one of those things where it's like, what survives this? Not much.
not a lot. Yeah, not a lot survives that shit. Yeah, let's see. If every other creature in the area must make a DC 17 dexterity save. On a failed save, a creature takes an amount of damage based on how far away from the point of origin it is, as shown on the following table. On a successful save, a creature takes half as much damage. 8 feet away, 10 feet away or closer, 8 times the number of charges in the staff. 11 to 20 feet away, 6 times the number of charges in the staff. 21 to 30 feet away, 4 times the number of charges in the staff. So that could be quite a lot.
Yeah, like it's I've seen it used to end a game. Like that's how fucking deadly this thing is. So then Staff of Magi, and they like I think we were fighting like Vecna, and someone was like, "We're not winning this thing. Like with our skills, we're not winning this thing." He goes, so I grab the Staff of Magi and I break it over my knee, and it's like,
Ooh.
okay. How much damage does it do? How many charges did it have? About 50.
That, oh, yeah, because you just picked it up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, like
man.
he kept rolling pretty well on the regain charges. So he would just roll it each 12 and like, oh, I get 13 fucking charges back. Yeah, it's pretty fucking deadly.
Yeah, that's
it's again, it's one of those things that like young DMs, first time DMs look at that and go like, wow, that's really fucking cool. But then everyone else is like,
no,
you don't want this.
yeah, don't do it. Yeah, I think I think it was the Brightwood Wanderer's staff was the one I had. It's been a few years since I played that character, so I'm having some problems remembering it. Staff allows a wayfinder to guide themselves through almost any forest. Oh no. That's not nearly badass. That's not nearly as badass as it was. Like this had a lot of shit to it.
Yeah, like I think that what you're talking about was basically like a fucking Moses staff. Is that what I'm? Is that kind of like what it was?
Yeah. That feels about right. Like it was like it had some of the serpent powers, but it was also like a druid staff. It was yeah. Magic Chernobyl have. Oh, dude. Okay, so I had a setting that I created, where the whole idea was that it was a world that worked almost literally according to the rules of D&D and role playing games. Like, like there were literal floating crystals in the world that were called safe points. You know, that kind of shit.
Right.
And so whenever they did something that would threaten to destroy the world, it would just happen and then they would reappear at the last safe point that they had. And they'd be like, what just happened? It's like, well, I remember you fucking did that and now we're here. So if they went and did it again, it would happen again. They're like, oh, this is kind of this, and they'd always lose a level when that happened.
Right.
You know, that was
Oh.
the penalty.
Oh, old school fucking D&D.
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
yeah. This was like you lose a level if you destroy the world, you lose a level. You know, I would bring you back, but everyone loses a level. You know, and yeah, they ran into that a couple of times. You know, when it's
Well-
like, well, we just destroyed everything. All right, then everyone
mean,
go
when
down a
you're playing-
level and.
When your players / characters figured out that that's an option, it's like, nope, kill everything. Bye.
Yeah. You know, it's like, well, that was actually the origin of the mass slasher voice as well. Because like the one of the things that this was the one that they didn't do because they had kind of caught on to what was going on at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like, here is a jar. It's totally sealed, like a canoptic jar kind of thing.
Oh
guy,
no.
You know, guy touches it, and it's like, and you hear a voice. It's like, hello. I am Zakrathar. Help me, release me, and I shall give you what you most desire. So at first they think it's a genie.
Right.
And then they slowly start to realize, no, it's not a genie. It's like some sort of a demon.
Right.
Okay, so let's not do that. And so they had established a couple of things. One, the jar actually has to be opened on purpose. It will not accidentally break. You know, because it's magical. You know, it's set up against that kind of shit. And they were like, okay, so what happens if I take the jar? And it's like, well, in order to release the demon, you actually have to open it. They're like, but we could just like have this jar, right? I'm like, yes, I suppose you could. And everyone's like, cool, we take it. Like, what do you do with it? And they're like, we'll just put it in the bag. And I'm like, okay, he continues to talk to you as you do this. It's like, let me tell you about the power that you will have. You know, he just starts going on, and eventually, like, I keep having the sorcerer make like saving throws against like mind control, essentially.
And they're just fucking acing.
Oh yeah, he's just acing it. 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. Finally, the demon just goes, oh, come on, open the jar. I'll give you a puppy.
Oh, come on, man.
Come on,
Let's
man.
figure it out.
I'll give you a puppy. Just let me out of here. Just come on. Because it was just getting ridiculous.
The poop bucket and the pee bucket got mixed up.
Mixed up. This is not fun for me. Come on, guy. And so for the rest of the game, they just had this fucking jar with this demon in it that just was constantly trying to take over the sorcerer's mind, but it never could.
Oh, I'm a failure at everything.
Think I do. Yeah, because it was one of those, like, eventually he's going to fail one of these saves, right? And he's just like, nope. And then when they finally got a castle, he's like, ooh, I'm going to put the jar on this mantle so I don't have to have it in my bag. And then he would come on. Oh, don't leave me over here. Is that, what's that, sphere of annihilation?
That's cool.
That's cool. Let me see if I can, maybe if I can, like, nudge the jar in that direction, I can end my suffering.
I had a similar thing happen, and I'll tell the story, and I need to go to bed,
Okay.
unfortunately. But we were playing a Mutants and Masterminds game, which, if you don't know what Mutants and Masterminds is, it's basically D&D but superheroes. Really fun.
Yeah. Very similar rule set. They created their own rule set recently, actually.
Yeah, I
they
saw
split
that.
off.
They went from D20 open to like their own rule set. Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks cool.
But when I was playing it, it was just the regular D20. Open D20. So
yeah, it was at the time the premier superhero role playing game.
Yeah, and I would say it's been my favorite superhero role playing.
I would absolutely agree.
Like, if anyone ever said like, "Hey, I've got a Mutants and Masterminds game open," I think I would fucking jump at the opportunity because I love that game. It's so good.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we were playing Mutants and Masterminds, and we had like our little Justice League of characters. There was the Speedster, there was the Batman Gadgeteer character, and then there was the Dr. Psycho style character, the one that like was the wielder of the mental palaces and shit like that.
Right.
And they fought my version of Lex Luthor, which was, you know, fucking billionaire that's obsessed with taking down supers. And they're like, they beat him, and then they threw him in like this fucking isolation chamber that the Dr. Psycho character made, which was
Okay.
like a like white room with nothing in it. You just stay there forever. You're just it was like a separate reality.
Right.
They put this genius in there, and like the first time they go meet him, he's doing the whole fucking like evil genius scoffing, like he's like, "You fools, you keep me in here. I'll eventually devise a way to get out, and I am the greatest mind on the entire planet." And the characters are like, "Look, if you're nice, we'll give you a bucket to piss and shit in." Stop. If you're really nice, we'll bring a chair next time. And by about the fifth time, this poor fucking evil genius was just, he was feral. He was like, "I'll do whatever you tell me to do. Just get me the fuck out of here."
Oh yeah, well, that's the thing about like superhero tabletop role-playing games. You're never the Justice League. You're not the Justice League. You might be the Avengers if you're lucky, but what you really are assholes with superpowers.
You're the boys.
Yeah, you're the boys. And that's what you are. Because, like, apparently nerds cannot be trusted with superpowers. I wonder why.
Hey, I played a responsible fucking speedster, okay? Thank you. He was a very nice person. Sure, he dismantled Nazi robots in like 30 seconds, but he was a very nice person.
Well, yeah. And the rest of the team?
They were psychopaths.
Yes.
like there was a guy that had like gravity manipulation as his power, and he just like one of his first comments, he just like fucking Magneto crushed someone. And I was like, there's a human in there.
I knew a guy, he figured out exactly how to fucking run this shit. He was like, "All right, this is gonna be superhero universe. That's not what we're doing. You guys are playing the Legion of Doom."
Oh, that sounds so fucking cool.
Yes. Yeah. It's like, you're all supervillains. Come up with your stupid supervillain idea. My favorite one, he eventually got killed, but my favorite one was just called The Fish. Now, The Fish is literally a goldfish in a bowl with tremendous psychic powers. He had like a 5-point plan for taking over the world because he was going to turn the Earth into his own personal private goldfish bowl. That was his goal. Because, you know, like how big a fish gets is all about how big the water is, or how big the body of water is, right?
And I will be the biggest goldfish in the world.
Yes. Yeah, he had this whole plan. He had a genetics laboratory where he was going to breed genetic mermaids to like clean him because he didn't have hands. You know, he's literally a goldfish. You know, he tried to create embiggening rays and things like that. But his whole thing was like telekinesis and mind control. That was his big thing. Unfortunately, the evil conquering alien eventually just punched him and killed him. He was able to get through his psychic force field and kill him. Which I was like, oh, come on.
Oh, that's like a rallying cry at that point.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Fish!
He had like a robot that fed him like fish flakes.
It's like the opposite of fucking Xanathar.
Oh yeah,
It's if Silgar actually took
yeah.
over
If
everything.
Sildar was the one with all the powers, yeah. Oh my god, it was that character was hilarious. Now, of course, and of course, the first thing that they do. What's your level 1 supervillain adventure?
Robbing a bank.
Exactly. Exactly. That the first thing you gotta do is rob a bank. And so they did, and man, Murphy's Law in action, man. Like,
Everything that could have went wrong on this gig.
yeah. I think what ended up happening is the fish like telekinetically just leveled the bank. You know, they were able to get away with some of the money, but like the whole place is just a crater.
What started as grand larceny now has become a crime against humanity.
Humanity, yeah, exactly.
Like, we were just looking for a couple of $100 million. Now we've killed we have become terrorists.
Yeah, that could have been a Doom Patrol villain. Oh no, the fish totally could have been a Doom Patrol villain.
Yeah,
How long did the goldfish live? He lived for like, in terms of, I don't know how long it was in terms of the game world, but it was like couple of years of playtime. Yeah, that he lasted. You know, there were some others that didn't last so well.
How has no one made that villain where it's like a goldfish that knows he's only got 7 years to live, so in those 7 years he's gonna try his damnedest to control the world, but he dies and comes back. Like that's a
oh my god, yeah, no, that's
stupid character.
That's a great. Yeah, there was a goldfish villain in Earthworm Jim, but he wasn't the fish. You know, it was the fact that he was called the fish. He was a TK monster. You know, he had like no hit points whatsoever. Like,
you don't need hit points.
Yeah, don't need hit points, so you got a telekinetic shield that fucking makes you immune to everything.
I love that fucking game. It's almost like Cyberpunk or Shadowrun, where like the shopping for powers is more fun than playing the game.
Oh yeah. I
like,
really wish that there was a way to really get people into the mindset of being superpowered heroes, because if you read a like a comic book, it's not like the hero levels up or anything, right? They just sort of are at a certain level. Like, they're at a certain level, and then everything else is about figuring out what stupid way they can use a power that they've already established.
Right.
You know, because they're always pulling shit out of their ass. It's always sort of like, haha, but I'm a speedster, so I'm going to create lightning by running really fast over this carpet. You know, like shit like that. Like, that's happening. That's how a superhero story works. So I always wanted to try to figure out how to get that aspect of it into the rule set.
But that's the thing, like, again, it's players want to play really cool shit, and whatever their idea is the most coolest of shit.
Yeah.
So, like, trying to convince the players to like play as a team in a superhero game is fucking damn near impossible.
Oh yeah,
but
totally.
It's so much fun. It's one of those things where it's like, I think there's a world where games like this could exist, where it's the stupidity of your players, doing stupid shit is fun, and everyone should be able to do it. Not every game's got to be fucking Lord of the Rings. Sometimes you gotta have Monty Python, the Holy Grail.
Yeah, it's usually a lot closer to Monty Python, the Holy Grail.
Right, because it's your stupid group of friends that want to make stupid memes about every fucking thing. Everything goes to some, this might be projection, but everything goes back to some fucking TikTok trend.
Yeah,
like everyone's making
something like that. Yeah,
everyone's making the same joke, and it's like, well, why aren't they taking it serious? It's like, this is as serious as it gets. Even the most serious D&D you've ever seen or played, it's still stupid, goofy bastards around a table, you know?
Yeah. I've always wanted to do like a superhero game where the whole idea was that you stacked effects. Like, for example, like there's a certain amount of you have a superpower set, and anything, and you have that up to a certain level. Anything
Right.
that is that level or below, you are assumed to have no problem.
Right.
However, if you want to do something different, you're allowed to try and affect one outside the box
Right.
or at
Yeah,
a higher level.
Yeah, like
If you do a thing,
like
if you
the
can
Dragon Ball
justify
concept.
it.
Yeah, the Dragon Ball concept of going even further beyond.
Yeah. Now, if you want to go more than one step beyond, that's when you need the other guys in the team. Like, this is when you're starting to get into, like, the fastball special. Or fucking Nightcrawler holding on to Storm so she can, like, cast lightning in 6 different directions.
Right.
Like that kind of stuff, and actually have it do it that way. But every time I sit down and think about how that's going to actually work, my brain kind of seizes up.
Well, yeah, because it's like you're thinking of like, okay, how many rolls is this gonna fucking take?
Yeah, is that a
for you to do
roll,
this?
or is it one of those, or is it like kind of like a sphere grid where like shit lights up depending on what everyone else has?
See, for me, it had to be rolls because, like, if you're going further beyond, there's got to be like that little bit of element of luck.
Yeah. It's like, can we do this? Must defy laws of physics. Like it's got to be a little like we don't know if we can do this or not.
Right. This could work or this could fail miserably. We don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, man.
All right.
I am fucking
I'll
exhausted.
let you go. I should probably get some dinner myself.
That sounds like a good
I'm
idea.
gonna do that. Been streaming for 4 hours. That's pretty respectable, I think.
But thank you for inviting me on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Love talking to you.
But yeah, if y'all want to catch me, if you'll allow me to show.
No, please, please.
If y'all want to catch me, I'm on Twitch over at John_the_Joker. You should find me. I streamed yesterday. Streamed yesterday, and I'll probably be streaming tomorrow night around 9:30. If you want to catch me then, we kind of just bullshit and play video games. It's a really chill environment. I'd love to see all y'all there. But other than that, once again, thank you for inviting me on, Jack.
No problem.
Do your closing stuff.
Oh, and y'all know me, I'm Count Jackula, and I'll see you guys next time. Ave Satanas, Disco Inferno. Don't forget to wash your ass. Remember, Satan and I love you all very much. If you want to be alerted the next time we stream, go ahead and follow me at Counting Jack on Twitter. Until then, love you guys. Y'all take care.
Bye, everybody.